Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another amazing edition of 13 Card Subject Change. Zach's here. Jesse's here.
Yes, sir.
And Leroy will be here partially through the day. We had a little bit of a esophagus issue going through, Leroy. But Leroy is thankfully okay. Yeah. Everything worked out okay. We'd like to thank the medical people that were there for him. But Leroy will be chiming in and out with a couple of nuggets today because it is Royal Rumble season.
Hey, man.
And it's all about the numbers.
Less than 7 days away.
Yeah,
now.
6 days away.
6 days.
And it wasn't even a minute. And Jesse's already screwing us over with YouTube.
Hey, listen, I love it.
Yeah. All right.
I didn't get a chance to watch all that. I saw some of it.
Oh, so by the way, people, so every Thursday now,
yes, okay,
I will be doing a review show. As I said on the first one last Thursday, I will be reviewing the shows throughout the week. Now, SmackDown, Rampage, shows of that nature, Impact will get reviewed the next week.
Yeah.
But of course, the week of Raw, NXT 2.0, and Dynamite. Dynamite will get short reviews because we usually talk about Dynamite on the show.
And the other thing about it is that what I like about it is that it's not only just you,
right,
but it's your sort of raw reaction, no pun intended, shortly after just seeing the
exactly.
shows. You haven't had like a. Because remember, Saturday nothing happens,
right?
Except for pay-per-views now,
right?
But the thing is that you don't have a Saturday to sort of stew on things, sort of think about things.
No.
It's sort of you in the moment thinking about it, which is great, by the way. I loved it.
Thank you,
yeah,
and thank you, people, for joining. It got close to 100 views.
Yeah.
By the way, for the first video, because I haven't gotten the chance to get it all. You know, when you're taking something from Facebook to YouTube, you have to code it and all that.
Yeah,
so I haven't been able to upload it to YouTube
it's all good,
yet.
yep.
But the next live one will be on the YouTube page. So go to 13 Cards on YouTube, and I will be doing it live there.
Jesse said it. He is pumped for this show.
Absolutely.
We got a lot to talk about that is not so much wrestling related, but just sort of around the business. That's kind of been the last couple of shows for us.
Right,
There's not a lot of in-ring stuff.
I want to add something.
Go for it.
Yeah.
With dealing with our Facebook page and Podomatic there. The podcast. If some people have noticed, if you go to our Facebook page right after I upload the link,
the Podomatic,
Facebook puts a link.
Yes, they do.
So you can actually stream and listen to our podcast on Facebook now.
Yes, sir.
Very interesting.
Although this week was one of our highest listened to episodes on Podomatic in a long time. We jumped from 41 views 2 weeks ago to 125 last I checked.
We had almost 200.
I wonder if it's because of how many people I called clowns.
Well,
maybe.
We're not going to stop calling them clowns. We got a lot to talk about. AEW is as well. Jesse, first and foremost, and yes, we should definitely start here.
Right.
Welcome back, John Moxley. We appreciate you.
Right.
We are not Busted Open Radio. We don't believe that you should apologize to anybody. That bully, I don't know where you were going with that, but
what?
I understand John missed some dates, but at the same time,
let me say this.
Go ahead, please. Take this.
Bully is a legend in this game.
Yes, he is.
Just without a doubt.
Yeah.
But Bully, see, being from Brooklyn, Bully reminds me of cousins that we love them. They're over at Thanksgiving dinner. But my God, you start talking to him and you go, just shut the hell up. So in this case, Bully, just shut up. Because sometimes
I love my Uncle Ted Nugent, but Ted and I just won't agree on most political things. But damn, if he ain't one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
That's about all he has anymore. But
yes,
but yeah, Bully was wrong.
Yeah,
it was great to see Moxley back. By the way, though, funny in his return, this is still an issue with some of their fans being disrespectfully interactive with wrestlers at AEW shows.
And the thing about it is that Jesse, people always give WWE crap for the tight security, for this, for that. But Jesse, we're going to talk a little bit about our boy TK today because he's starting to run, not in a health issue way, but he's starting to run kind of a sloppy shop over there, and we're going to have to start talking about that. Starting with, as much as I'm happy he's back, I do agree with Jim Cornette's take that what is Moxley doing having his first match in GCW? Now, I gave GCW, 2021 Promotion of the Year. Yeah. But at the same time, Jesse, they still don't have the television that AEW does. And they're only 6 weeks out from a pay-per-view.
To be fair, his first match back, for those who don't know, if you go to a Dynamite show, they also, I think they still do tape Dark Elevation.
Yeah.
And then they tape Rampage.
Yeah.
So technically his first match back was that Wednesday night. It was on Rampage. Great match.
Yeah.
Excellent match between him and I guess somebody who decided finally he was done being a clown. People cannot tell me that wrestlers are not listening to us on other platforms.
No.
Because I call people clowns, and all of a sudden they're doing better things. Like a week later. Anyway, but
would you like to tell us which clown came out of the car? For those people that maybe haven't.
Ethan Page.
Okay, yeah.
Ethan Page is the clown.
Okay.
So they had a great match. Actually, probably Ethan Page's best match in AEW.
The bar's not high there.
Which the bar has not been high. But here's the thing. Jim is half right. You didn't mention hey, tonight he's just speaking. He's not going to wrestle on Dynamite. But, check him out on Rampage. And they did, but they did it at the end of the show.
Right. Why didn't look, I get it. John came back,
right.
You give him the mic, you let him be emotional, but you're still working, man. Throw it in there. Come on. It's 2 seconds the promo.
Which, by the way, apparently the fans can do what they didn't let Ethan Page do, which was let him come out, call him a drunk, be a heel.
Yeah.
And then set that match, that promo up for
I'm sorry.
A match.
What is Samoa Joe's most famous promo in WWE? Basically looking at Jeff Hardy and saying, Jeff, I'm going to treat this like an AA meeting, and you need to shut up while I speak.
Share with the rest of the class.
Yeah.
Listen, Joe is the greatest. But it's one of those things, and I have to agree with Jim on that.
Yeah.
Just, hey, listen, no, he's not wrestling tonight.
But now, Jesse, here's the deal. Now here's the deal. Going back to my point.
Right.
I'm not mad at John. I'm mad at Tony. Bro, what exactly does he do except put together dream scenario matches on free cable?
When my throat is better, I'm going to get on a soapbox.
Okay.
One episode. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go off
on
Tony.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm actually looking forward
Tony
to that.
Tony the dipshit.
Yeah.
And
and we're just going to call it Tony's a dipshit.
If people are unhappy, send an email to subjectchain.com at Yahoo, Twitter,
Please tweet us.
Everything.
We will definitely tweet
Send
you
me
back.
hate mail on Facebook. I don't care if you don't like what I
Yeah.
got to say or whatever. I'll apologize to all those fans. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Maybe. But my point is this, is that, Jesse, this is getting more and more...
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to say anymore. Jesse, FTR and the Briscoes are screwing around on their Twitter accounts.
Right.
And, Jesse, despite what you think half kayfabe, they're on a chicken farm
Yes, they are.
in western Delaware.
Yes, they are.
Living out their lives, freaking yelling at FTR,
Right,
and FTR's wrestling in probably a great send-off match to the Rock and Roll Express.
Yes, sir.
Edge decided to take a little trip. Edge can do whatever the hell he wants. Vince ain't about to tell him no on that.
I was going to say he could have jumped in the ring. And
It's not going to mean
they would have
nothing.
been out or whatever.
Yeah. But my point is this, Jesse. It's just, Jesse.
Great moment, though.
Oh, no. Loved it. But, Jesse, the Briscoes are on a chicken farm.
Right.
FTR is in purgatory because they are not even on Dynamite.
Not really.
They're getting paid to wrestle 70-year-olds on a spot show.
I agree.
Jesse, Tony, is he just? I mean, I've asked before. Is he just funding the indies now?
It feels like it, doesn't it?
Because I mean, like Jesse, these guys are still wrestling 4 to 5 times a week. And then they're flying back to Jacksonville, getting into Jacksonville at like probably 2 or 3 in the afternoon, doing 2 hours of TV, and then they're freaking going home.
I think on this subject, I would like to do a little investigation.
You know where Vince keeps everyone in catering? Jesse, half the time nobody's at the show in catering because they're all doing spot shows.
No. Here's the thing: if a part of me wants to do investigative journalism because it's one of those things where, well, yeah, that's just amazing. It's one of those things. And I'll keep calling people clowns.
Yes.
So I'm glad you guys, have enjoyed the show. Welcome to the show if you're new.
Yep.
Speaking of clown, Tony Khan.
If I could play that song, Send in the Clowns, I would, but there's a copyright thing.
We're also going to have to do a yearly clown list for you, Jesse, not just...
we will continue to do yearly clown lists.
I'll have to put that with our best of show,
and
we'll do the best of the clowns.
But it's just...
Maybe we start doing quarterly clowns.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Well, WWE releases the quarterly finances. We'll release our quarterly clowns.
The quarterly clown list.
But Jesse, what is Jesse?
Because here's what I want to understand.
You're giving away Jon Moxley to GCW. I'm sorry, you are. You're giving him away.
And there's no way they're paying John to be there. That's definitely probably on Tony's dime.
Oh, easy. Because here's the deal. Again, I gave GCW. Promotion of the year,
right.
Which, by the way, you didn't even consider. They had a hell of a year.
And when you brought it up, I was like, they really had.
But they don't have the money.
No.
That John's.
And
I mean,
listen, I think they just had their first pay-per-view, which went very well.
Yes.
A really good show.
Speaking of pay-per-views, Jesse wants to not only watch it in its entirety, he wants to give it a couple of watches. We'll be reviewing Terminus once Jesse.
Once I kind of get a couple views of it, we're gonna because it sounded like a great show.
And Josh Alexander, you sir. You officially go to my top of most dedicated in this business. For those of you that don't know, Josh, because of weather, could not make the show.
Right.
And he called John, reportedly, and John was like, hey, man, it is what it is. We'll figure it out. I'll be able to do something here. He's like, oh, fuck, no, that's not happening. He got in his truck and drove how many hours?
So it was 15. So basically
15 hours to Atlanta, Georgia.
He was told a couple hours before his flight that the flight to Atlanta was canceled.
Because he was going to fly in the day before.
Right. And so he told John, listen, I'm going to make it.
Oh, yeah.
I might be late.
Yep.
But I'm going to make the show. Because John told him, you know what? Card is subject to change.
Yes.
And so, if you can't make it, no problem.
But Josh wanted to be a part of this.
But Josh wanted to not only be a part of the history of it.
Yeah.
But John Gresham is a friend, so he wanted to still be there. And listen, I don't know if there's a guy who's a bigger hero in pro wrestling lately than Josh Alexander.
Once again, the North could have been there in its entirety, but Ethan decided to go play with Sky.
And I'll do a little tease, for that Terminus. JDX is going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna. It's a tease. We're not telling you when.
We're not telling you when, but I can't wait to have Justin on to talk about that show.
Awesome.
Because, by the way, I said their match had a chance to steal the show. That match, from everything that I've seen, clips and everything, it was a banger of a Fatal 4-Way.
Right.
And congratulations to Danny Garcia for winning that match.
It's weird to me.
You did not tweet him, by the way. You forgot to tweet him from our official account.
On our official account. I tweeted him personally.
Yes.
I actually might have responded. It's weird. I know. It's weird to me. We'll get into him at some point.
But anyway, folks, Moxley's back. That's great. We love that. And by the way, Tony, we gave him credit for letting John go take care of himself. But at the same time, Jesse, you paid for him to still have a life with his family while he was in rehab. You still sent him a check. Whether it was his full check or not, you gave him something. But this guy, Booker of the Year, throw that out the window. You can't defend the fact that he's giving everything away on free. I'm sorry. The fact that Bryan Danielson has not been a pay-for-to-see wrestler from the moment he walked in. I'm sorry. I've got great American Dragon moments. He was my number one of the year, but I got to see them all for free. I didn't have to pay a dime to see the American Dragon.
Here's the thing. And listen, I know some people, this is the reason why some people believe AEW is better. But I'm like, there's a reason why WWE pay-per-views can still do really well.
Yeah.
Especially the big four, is because you get your dreams and your biggest matches.
And this is Charlotte's biggest beef right now, is that Charlotte's willing to do a job on a Friday night in Idaho, but I don't think WWE is telling her no. They're saying not right this second.
Yeah.
Which again may have been rough for Tony. I get it. Once again, we give all our love to Tony. Do what you got to do.
Right.
But my thing is that I think that what is leading to a lot of people leaving WWE is they just don't want to wait for when the money's on the table. And maybe it's the generation, maybe it's the guaranteed contracts. I don't know, because nobody gets paid more for a pay-per-view.
Right.
You're kind of just getting paid for what you want, for your week's salary.
Well, in WWE, they do get incentives.
Right.
Certain stars get incentives.
Right, but what I'm saying, Jesse, is that there is a mass exodus.
Because there's only so many matches they're going to put on pay-per-view, so
right.
you make one, you get a bonus.
Right, but folks, yeah, and we'll just combine this right now. Mustafa Ali asked for his release after an argument with Vince.
Right.
They've reportedly said no.
Right.
But Jesse and I have already had this conversation. Unless they asked him to literally do something that's against his religion, it's not like the guy hasn't been given an opportunity to be featured. I don't know.
This Mustafa Ali thing has become strange.
Yeah.
Because so there is also a prevailing argument about the fact that he, wrong time for an injury. Also, the fact that, every time he kind of gets a spot, it's either dropped or this or that.
Yeah.
They cut. I know one of the arguments I hear is
he's lost his first name 3 times.
Well, it's not even that one. It's they cut wrestlers all the time.
Yeah.
That's a Vince thing, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
But they cut wrestlers all the time.
Yeah.
Why not just let him go if he doesn't want to work for you?
WWE at this point, for how much they've been releasing people in the last year, they're not keeping you to be. This isn't the 76ers keeping Ben Simmons and eventually going to get nothing. They're just going to walk out the door.
Right.
This is literally, they're not being petty. They still think they can do something with you because, like Jesse said, the way they release people that we thought were making the money, they don't care. So the fact that they're keeping you, they have no reason to be petty about this.
Because people always see it. Go ahead.
They're going to Jeddah next month. He's going to get freaking paid.
If
he's
on
in
the
one of
show,
the matches,
yeah.
I think he was last time. I would think they would put him in this time.
Yeah.
It'd be smart.
That's fair, yeah.
Speaking of Jeddah, you brought up Jeddah, and I'm like, I haven't seen Mansoor in a while.
He was on SmackDown 2 weeks ago.
Oh, was he?
He's in a tag team with Cesaro.
Every time I see Mansoor and he's doing well, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, because they're going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
That's Saudi Arabia's version of the Undertaker.
I really just need them
WrestleMania Undertakers.
The program. By the way, because the program, they canceled the damn program. By the way, for those who don't know, they don't actually have a PC Center out there anymore.
Yep.
So Mansoor has actually come through your system and done well, and this is what you use him for.
Yeah.
That's a different story. But when it comes to Ali, I will say this. I'm going to wait a couple weeks.
Yep.
I think Ali should wait a couple weeks.
Yeah.
If I start seeing him again on SmackDown television and he's doing something with someone, that'll let me know that they still have plans for him.
Yeah.
I absolutely get why he's upset.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, you guys going to work, you got an idea.
Yep.
And you're always bringing ideas to your boss. And at some point, sometimes they use them, but then they rush through your idea. Or just every other time they like your idea, the next week they tell you no.
Right, yeah.
And you're like, well, I don't know. Okay, well, and then like there could be some prevailing truth to the fact that he asked. So it is confirmed he only asked for a weekend off when his wife had their child.
Yes.
Because she was expecting the child.
Yeah.
And they've kept him off of TV since.
Yeah.
And he does have a right to be like, guys, I don't understand. Like I asked for a week off. Now, I understand if maybe you guys want me to do something else or want to wait to the Rumble.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of wrestlers get frustrated when you just tell them nothing.
That's the other thing I've always said about WWE that's bothered me is that Royal Rumble season, a lot of shows end up being the same 10 guys. because they're trying to save people for a moment in the Rumble.
Right.
Which was always Pat Patterson's thing, was everyone gets their moment when they first show up.
Right.
But Jesse, once again, back to sort of Tony in the situation. It seems like the one is recess all day, to quote Jim Cornette. The other one is everyone thinks they're being treated terribly, but at the end of the day, to tie in a bunch of different segments today, I put not as bad as you think. Jesse, Sami Zayn has now officially re-signed. You thought it had already happened, but the numbers are now starting to
right. Well, I think they officially announced it
just after SmackDown.
I'm about to say, I think actually after our show last week.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
It was after the show.
Because it was pretty early last week.
Yeah, it was
so
like
my point is this, Jesse.
Monday or Tuesday.
Is that, Jesse, not as bad as you think. And let me get a quote here from Marcus, because Marcus and I talked about this. I think you were on that thread when people were talking about. So people were talking about Sammy being involved with Johnny Knoxville.
Correct.
And they're like, man, Sammy re-signed for this? And I'm sitting here saying to myself, okay, are you people actually fans of the wrestlers? Do you know their histories? Have you watched their careers that have gone over and over and over the world here? Because, Jesse, he was a luchador who didn't cut promos called El Generico, which, by the way, stood for he was a generic bland wrestler that was basically a video game character.
Correct.
Jesse, not as bad as you think. Jesse, all these people think that Sammy on the Indies was ROH champion. He was New Japan champion. Yeah. Jesse, a lot of people, and this goes back to Roddy, who we'll talk about in a little bit because we got to talk about 2.0 because that was a great show this past week. Phenomenal. If you didn't watch it, that's on you. There is no reason why you can't catch great NXT 2.0 anymore. It's on TV. Right. But, Jesse, Tony looks like the land of just recess because you can kind of do whatever you want. You're going to get paid way more than you would anywhere else.
Right.
But, Jesse, he's not benefiting from it. You are. Whereas Vince gets his chunk of flesh, but you got to deal with a couple of things here and there, yada, yada. But, I mean, Jesse, Sami Zayn was not Kevin Steen. He was Kevin Steen's buddy.
Right.
Kevin Steen was the ROH World Champion.
Right.
Kevin Steen was the guy who was the biggest star of PWG at one point. Jesse, can you think off the top of your head a couple of guys that you see in WWE right now who were in that run that you were there for the Indies?
Okay.
Who is technically better off, regardless of what anyone wants to believe about their favorite wrestler? Who's in a better spot outside of a guy like Sammy and even Kevin, who, like you said, he's doing less stupid shit, so he's kind of prolonging a couple more years of his career.
Right. So, I mean, as far as like guys who have stayed, who people didn't expect to stay, and really, of course, this came up because hell, even I maybe both of us were like, yeah, there's a chance he's probably gone.
Oh, Leroy. I remember Leroy messaged me one time and was like, Steen's out.
Yeah.
As soon as Owen's contract is up, he'll be back to Kevin Steen. Like, I mean, call Pro Wrestling Tees, get the Kill Steen Kill shirts out. He's back, people. But
he resigned a 4 or 5 year deal.
And he's getting paid, by the way. He's getting paid some very nice coin.
And Sammy's getting a really good contract as well on a 4 or 5 year extension. Here's the thing. I think one thing I've always said is it depends on the wrestler, because here's the thing: if for guys like Kevin and AJ and Sammy, to a lesser degree, Cesaro. And things of that nature. Cesaro got started late in his career anyway. He started, I think, at 25.
Right.
So, the thing about WWE that allows you, one, you can still do your brand.
Yep.
They did complete. It feels like they've basically backed off the whole streaming thing because most of those guys stream nowadays anyway.
Yeah. And like we said, up, down, down. I think because he has a contract with them, they would expect him to be streaming at some point, but I think he's just doing too much. So we'll see what happens now that he's hurt.
I think because of G4 he backed off of that.
Right, yeah.
I like when I realized that he had the G4 contract at the same time that he was going to end up, down, down. I'm like, I think it's because of the G4 thing.
Right,
so,
yeah.
But yeah, so,
it might not even have anything to do with Vince.
About it, I like the more I kind of, and like I said, this is just me reading into it.
Yeah,
I think it's really, let me focus on the G4 thing.
Yeah,
which is fine.
And by the way, folks, he's not ending it. He just recently did a Mario Kart stream a couple of weeks ago.
I think with Chugs.
It was not with Chugs. It was just him. I think Chugs might have come in at one point.
Well, him and Adam literally just did a video together.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
But yeah. So. By the way,
and G4 is paying him good money, by the way, to do that. But Jesse, it's just my point is this.
Well, because here's what I was going to say.
Go ahead. Yeah.
The big thing for people thinking, well, why would you stay? Why would you stay? One, in AEW, here's the fact, and the fact about
if you're not friends with the EVPs, you're not going to get that kind of success.
Well,
anyway.
besides that, but the fact about AEW is this. You're going to constantly wrestle.
Yep.
Now, if that's what you want to do, and I mean, that's a lot of people.
Well, but you said recently, it's the place to go for someone that wants to wrestle.
Right.
All the time.
All the time, because that's what you're going to do.
Yeah.
You're even when you're not on Dynamite, even if you're not on Dark.
Yep.
You go take your indie bookings, which I guess Tony's paying for.
Yep.
And you're just going to wrestle all the time, which is fine because it's going to be great to see you.
Yes.
Dumbass.
But with WWE, unless Vince
eat
has
your applesauce.
unless Vince has the working contract with, a couple indie scene promotions, you're not going to probably be on that scene as much.
Yeah.
But also, you're going to get paid well. So even if you're not a wrestler, you don't want to. If you're not wrestling all the time, if you're okay with not wrestling all the time, but you want to build your brand and things like that, well, WWE is still the perfect place to go.
Well, the other thing about it is that I don't see Sammy getting the opportunities to help out Syria, the country of Syria, in AEW as much as he does with the WWE brand.
Well, no, because he
they're also, by the way,
because he could literally just take time off and go do his thing.
And they're also very respectful of him not wanting to go to Saudi Arabia.
By the way, I've told people before, especially after the whole airplane incident, they have been very open as far as communication about. Hey, we tell the wrestlers all the time, if you don't want to go, you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
But for those who do,
we'll find a way to write you off.
Right. Well, for those who do, we're going to give you a bonus. You'll go do the match.
Which, by the way, Jesse, people got also to realize, for selfish reasons that I respect, people do the show because there's a bonus in it for it.
Well, there's good money to go do that event.
You're making at least 5 figures to be over there. Depending on where you are on the card, it's at least 6 or 7.
About to say, they're getting paid 6 fucking figures to be over there.
Yeah, exactly.
So and
that's the undercard guys.
A lot of money.
Well, no, I'm just saying, WWE, I think or maybe 7. I think they're making $100+ million.
Yep.
Every time they go over there. Why wouldn't they fucking go?
So my point is, but Jesse, it's like people want to act like that.
It was a $3 billion deal or something like that.
Close to it, yeah. Which the Prince has. He's got that in spades. Love him or hate him, he's got that money.
All right, here's the fun part.
Okay.
Cesario. He debuted wrestling in 2000. That's when he started.
Right.
2011, he was in the WWE Network. He was in Florida.
Yep. Florida Championship
then,
Wrestling.
2013, Sammy was.
How old is Cesaro? Does it say?
41.
41. Okay.
So
he's been wrestling for 20 years.
So he started about 20.
21.
Yeah.
And he was halfway through his career when he went into WWE.
Yeah.
So.
But my point is this, Jesse, is just everybody has this weird idea that every single person that is currently in the WWE system, and I'll just say the system.
Oh, by the way, that's still a late start.
Oh, yeah.
Because most of these people start at 16.
Jonathan Gresham, wasn't he like literally in his late teens when he first started training? Yeah.
AJ was 15 when he started training.
Becky Lynch, I think, lied on her application to get into Fergal's.
And of course, we all know the story of the Hardys.
That's another guy that people don't. Again, you're a New Japan stan. Mm-hmm. That's well established on this show.
Yes, sir.
But you've also said that, okay, if anyone could ask for their release, probably get it and go back to something big, it's
Finn Balor.
It's Finn Balor. But everyone's like, oh, they're not using more. He's still in prominent matches. He's on television. He's a guy who can work. And Jesse, again, he's also one of the most humble dudes in wrestling. Because remember, people don't realize he didn't walk into the dojo and was the guy.
No.
He scrubbed toilets just to get into the ring to get beaten up by Minoru Suzuki.
Right. It's true.
He scrubbed toilets just to go through the dojo.
Right.
But it's just, Jesse, because we love a guy, because he's been made up to be this big thing, we forget what his career actually was.
Right.
He was never, and you even didn't realize this until you got on the show, he was never the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
Right, which is crazy.
They never gave that to him. He was the leader of Bullet Club. But, Jesse, I feel like
I think AJ was the first leader to actually do that.
Yes. But, Jesse, my point is this, is that
man.
Jesse,
how great can you be?
Right?
AJ Styles, how great can you be?
And still believe
that's true.
And still believe the earth is flat.
God, I hate that. Continue.
But Jesse, everyone's like, why doesn't Finn leave? Well, what's Finn got to go back to that isn't as big as what he's currently doing? He's more featured here than he was in New Japan.
By the way, I do get the whole thought process of man, they're never gonna have him as champion again. Listen, man, like I said, 70-year-old Vince has been frustrating. I get it.
Yes.
It's been very frustrating, but it's one of those things. Just give it a little time. He'll change his fucking mind on a guy.
But see, Jesse, again.
And people are mad about his Saudi shows. Okay. He gets $50 million a show.
Yep.
And
it's $100 million a year.
Yeah.
It's $100 million a year.
150, I think, because I think they usually do 3 shows.
No, they do 2.
No, it's just 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just 2. Because
they make $50
it was
billion
Super
a show,
Showdown, and then it was also the last one they did, which was Crown Jewel.
Right.
So,
and the amount they have, the 5 events from 18 to 2020 have made $250 million. That's what he got paid.
And that's tax-free cash, by the way, folks. That's coming right from the prince's pocket.
They've made more money on that than WrestleMania tickets from 85 to 2019.
Correct.
Yep.
So and they make way more money than any AEW show.
Oh, yeah. But back to my point, Jesse, is that people are starting to prove, okay, you never watched these guys before they got into Vince's hands. You weren't paying attention. Now, if a Jonathan Gresham feels like he's underused because he's probably undersized compared to what Vince would want, that makes sense because Jonathan Gresham is starting to prove he's one of the best in the damn world.
Right.
But Jesse, Prince Devitt was not being handed title after title after title everywhere.
Shockingly, no.
AJ Styles was being put in a baby angle down in TNA.
Oh. Why'd you bring that
up? Because douchebag Dixie Carter requires that we do. Because she has no idea what she was doing anyway.
Fucking depressing.
She's not paying us. We don't have to talk about that.
Who knows? Her daddy paid a lot of people that she didn't know about. But Jesse, okay.
I mean, you couldn't pay me to defend
douchebag Dixie Carter.
I can't either, no.
Like, daddy could show up with, some people would say it's hard to have the cash in front of you.
Yeah.
But, he shows up with 2 suitcases of $25 million and be like, I'm not going to defend her, but I won't go as hard on her.
Yes.
I'm just going to donate some of that to my church.
There you go. But see, Jesse.
You're a good man.
But see, Jesse, El Generico was not the guy in ROH.
Right.
He was not.
No.
Okay? Cesaro,
He's in a lot of prominent matches.
Well, yeah, but see, Jesse, most of those prominent matches, he didn't win.
True.
People got to realize, Sami Zayn took off the mask, spoke. Jim Cornette's like, fuck, I've been trying to make him do this for years. Sammy is a guy that gets arguably more TV time than anybody else in the WWE outside of the champions.
Right. Because
Sami Zayn is on every SmackDown. Yeah. Whether he's early in, Zayn is given 10 minutes, which, by the way, is it a little bit boring at times? I think no. To the average person, yes. Yeah. But you have to understand is that Sammy is trying to do something because here's the deal. He's always been an entertainer outside of a wrestler. He's just a very talented wrestler.
Right.
Sami Zayn is more now than he ever was on the indie scene. And anyone who thinks that Vince is gimmicking Sammy out, did you not watch El Generico? There's a joke in the show that he faked his death and went to fucking Mexico to work in an orphanage, which burned down, by the way.
They just gotta look at his name that he used, El Generico.
He literally did one slap as a heel. He slapped the wrestler in the face and then hit under the announce table.
Yeah, just.
I mean, that's as gimmicky as it fucking gets. It really is.
But my point is this, Jesse. Yes, are there certain guys? Yes.
Right.
You could argue Finn Balor, but again, if there's an argument to be made the other way, because again, he was big to the internet stands, but to the actual bookers, Gato never saw him as the guy. Even though you're sitting here like, Gato, how do you not do that? But
like I said, now when I rethink of his career, I'm like, he was in a lot of huge matches, but yeah, I guess he was a champ.
How many G1s was he in and never won? He had to have been in at least 2 or 3 G1s.
I think 3 or 4.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so 3 or 4 G1s. But it's just, Jesse, the grass might be greener as
Gato, what's going on with you, bro? No,
okay. We'll talk to Gato in a second. We'll talk to Gato later. But no,
send him a message.
But Jesse, Tony Khan, to circle back, is paying people to work for other people. Vince McMahon is paying you to work for him, but yeah, you gotta do some of the crazy shit.
For it's not as bad as you think. Here's also the other problem: is Leo Rush just recently announced I'm a free agent because his contract expires on fucking Valentine's Day.
Yeah, because WWE wants to do that. So again, because it was so much fun the first time.
Listen.
And there's like six or seven other people that are
there's a bunch of
contractors coming up.
By the way, hold on, time out. Before we go on, they're being released. Stop the bullshit of we're not renewing. You're getting released. They're just not announcing. I
gotta be honest. I don't know if that's the same thing because technically Cody is working without he's not working with a full-time contract. Because I'm like, well, you're still getting fucking paid to do all your services. You're not doing this for free, Cody. So I get what you guys put out, the fact that he actually has not signed a new deal with them. But you can't tell me you're not on a week-to-week contract right now doing your stuff.
Yeah.
You delusional. Anyway.
We're not going to get into that.
Right.
I have a quick question.
Unfortunately, we'll have to when we talk about that.
I have a quick question.
All right.
So Cody's a free agent. Is Brandy?
I hope not. I hope not.
Keep her in your women's division so Cody can maybe go do something else.
Though one of the greatest things was somebody went and found the footage, and now it's circulating on YouTube, which I love, is when he was first introducing himself in Ring of Honor kind of as a heel, and he's talking, and a fan yells, "Hey, where's your hot-ass wife?"
Nobody wants to see her anymore.
Now no one wants to really see her anymore.
Now nobody wants to see her. And no, it's not because of how she looks. It's because once she opens her mouth, we're like, okay, so there's not much else going on there. All right. Cody, what were you thinking?
Wasn't she like an announcer or something?
She was an announcer. But see, Jesse, that's the thing that's the thing that Jim Cornette's been yet to find out. You got her helping out the young women in your in your division. Jade Cargill is being mentored by Brandy. You were a ring announcer. You have no wrestling career to speak of. Jade Cargill was the Rookie of the Year, probably no thanks to Brandy.
I mean, so she did some wrestling in Impact. To be honest, I didn't watch Impact a lot during that time because it was so fucking bad.
That's because Dixie was on the end of
that. I mean, by the way, you want to talk about people wasting talent?
Oh God, you and I just talked about this over lunch.
Yeah, like I mean,
Drew Galloway never needed to go back to WWE.
Right.
If they
So
booked him right.
What we talked about during lunch, and it's so real. If they had what they have now at Impact, which is
you mean the management staff?
Correct.
Which, by the way, reportedly, I think William Regal.
Right. I think Tommy announced that they actually did sign William Regal.
Yeah.
He tweeted that out. They're just whenever
nothing's
he feels
been
like going.
confirmed.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Tommy's credibility is shot by any means.
Right.
But I'm like, well, until I hear from Regal or see him show up on your television. But anyway, but yeah, so if they had what they have now with the better production that they had back then, is Drew Galloway actually gone?
Probably not. He's probably still there.
You think Bobby's fucking going anywhere?
Oh no.
Like, because right there, those are two stars that WWE's working right now.
Yeah.
So, like, you think those two guys are gone? Not a chance.
No.
You think Cameron Grimes is a fucking silent stone man? No. So,
because Scott would have heard him talking in the locker room and said, "Oh, you got to put that shit on TV."
This guy's entertaining. He's got to go out there. So here's the thing.
Vince will
not as bad as
Vince is going to love Cameron Grimes on the main
is.
roster. He's going to love him.
Here's the biggest thing for me as far as WWE isn't as bad for wrestlers as people try to put out there. It's because I'll say it like this: Killer Kross's biggest thing about like his reason for being upset while he ended up being gone, was his booking when he got to the main roster. That was it.
Yeah.
He was like, listen, I actually love that locker room.
Yeah.
I love the guys and girls there. Like he's like, it literally felt like a family. Everyone was really cool.
Yeah.
They were really sweet to Scarlett. Charlotte and all those women always like working with her.
Yeah.
Like,
because apparently that we've learned that despite trying to be the biggest bitch on television, Charlotte's one of the best locker rooms.
Apparently one of the sweetest human beings on the planet.
Oh my God.
So, by the way, thank God you don't follow your dad's footsteps on that.
Oh dear Lord.
Shut up, Rick.
Yep.
So, it's one of those interesting things where like WWE isn't as bad. Trust me, the wrestlers don't need to talk about how frustrating the booking is. We get it.
Yeah, it's not hard to see.
Like it's not like your eyes aren't going to lie to you about that.
No,
so,
they're not.
I mean, Baron Corbin recently was defending himself against an article, a wrestling article, because someone's like, he hasn't been a world champion because he just doesn't have the look of a world champion. I'm like, no, he does.
Yeah.
He's got the skill set. He's very, very good.
He's a former offensive lineman who's just doing stuff that you're like, oh my goodness.
It's like Corbin is incredibly capable.
Yeah.
But they've only put him in certain situations. Well, that's not on Corbin, but you know what? He's made what he's been given work.
Oh, yes.
So at some point, will he be...
Bum-ass Corbin was supposed to last a couple of weeks.
Bum-ass Corbin should have got him a world title.
I agree.
Because it was so good.
And he had to, and again, they forced him to stay that way.
He did take the suitcase.
He did. Well,
he did.
I mean, because to me, the story arc
it was a briefcase. How dare you?
It should have been a redemption story arc for him.
It should have been, yeah.
Yeah, it's but like I said,
they made him go to his kids' school interviews still dressed like a bum ass.
By the way, which was the only stroke of brilliant genius as far as like keeping kayfabe and booking.
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, is WWE as bad as you think? No.
No.
You want to know why? Because it's not just 7. It's more than 7 wrestlers that won't be in AEW by the time 2022 is over.
Well, but Jesse, you said this,
that's
and it's happening again.
That's just the first run of them.
Exactly.
Right.
Jesse, you and I both end up being right about Spot Monkey. I just get made right early. It takes you a couple of months for them to catch up to you.
Yeah, because I thought they were going to be forced to just release people.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, you have too many. You're super
but
top
Jesse,
heavy.
Again, that's what they're doing. They're just not renewing. Just because they're not, Jesse, they're letting them go. They're just not because again.
No. You're absolutely.
An article
because
said.
By the way, Brian Cage not sitting in catering, sitting at home taking half a paycheck, is just about the same thing as the wrestling WWE sitting in catering. But here's the thing: at least they're getting fed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I flew you out because I might use you. I didn't, but you're still getting paid. So just, I guess,
Jesse,
bum around.
Jesse, they said, and I quote, one of the articles said, they won't be announcing who's leaving. I'm like, so they're gonna come out looking like daisies because they're not telling you who it is, but WWE's the lump of coal because they just announce it? Are you freaking kidding me? And by the way, Jesse, can we point something out that you've made clear on this show from day one? They don't have to take the 30 to 90 day thing. They could walk away from it right now. Right. But it's hard to walk away from that money that's just going to keep coming every week on the on the dime.
Right.
So
because then as you're figuring your own shit out,
you can get paid.
You get paid.
I'm about to take a 2-week Heart of a Warrior is February 12th. I'm taking 2 weeks off from February 11th on. 2 weeks from that. I'm going to be at home on my ass on my couch unless I'm with you guys at a wrestling show, but I'm going to get paid for it.
Right.
I'm stupid. Who the hell takes it? When you work for a company that just says, you want to take a full day off? Here's 8 hours of vacation. Why would you not do that?
By the way, the other reason I also believe that they do the 90 days is because they also have to get rid of all that merch.
Yep.
So they have to pay you because they have to get rid of your merch now too.
They put a lot of merch.
They put a lot of money
by the way,
merch
by
out.
the way,
does he still have some Fiend merch?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Allison and I proved when we went to SmackDown.
Oh, I don't mean to interrupt you.
No, yeah, go ahead.
So I want everyone to go and find the YouTube page. It Begins Again. It's Bray Wyatt's.
Yes.
Or Wyndham's.
Corey is 99% sure he knows what show it is.
Because here's the thing.
Corey has messaged me multiple times.
The first release, what I realized as I was delving through the page and the promos, which are phenomenal.
It's
still
Wyndham Rotunda.
So good. Is the fact that number one, the first one was 4 weeks ago, which I didn't even realize because he had it tweeted. What are you doing, Wyndham? I love you. Bro, let us know what's going on.
Please do.
Like everyone's like, wait, he put out something.
WWE is not paying us. We will easily make sure the world knows that you said this.
You can keep your private life private, but if you're gonna do wrestling stuff, let us know.
Please let us know. Tweet us 13_cards.
We would love to promote your stuff.
Yes,
but so apparently the first promo was 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So some people are thinking, and I went back to watch all the promos.
Yeah.
The reason there was some rumor about maybe he has a hybrid deal with the WWE.
Yeah.
Is the first announcement of the St. Louis 3 weeks ago will be 3 weeks from next Saturday.
Yes.
And a lot of that promotion still interjects the
There's
Fiend.
also a match where Eric Redbeard is teaming with
Braun Strowman, or Adam Scheer, formerly known as Braun Strowman.
Yeah.
I think that's the show he'll be at.
Which is exactly what Corey
said.
Exactly
I think that's the show he'll be at. But I will say this. if that son of a bitch was smart enough that they came calling, and he was like, I mean, you can pay me to be at certain shows,
right?
But I'm not your contract anymore.
Exactly.
I love that.
Oh, yeah. But anyway, my point back to the merch was, Jesse, when Alice and I went to SmackDown, they had just gotten back on the road.
Right.
There was some Finn merch. There was some Roman merch. There wasn't a ton of merch because they just gotten back on the road.
Correct.
We went to Raw. It was the usual stand. Yep. There was dolls everywhere.
Right.
20, virtually every wrestler that was on the card had something. And by the way, the number one selling merch item last year was the Lily doll.
Which is why I don't think she's actually changing gimmicks. But it's one I don't.
Just the hair.
Yeah, probably. Maybe start wearing a mask every now and then.
Yeah.
Because they don't really want to let the Fiend thing go, even though they fucked it up.
Yeah.
But I like I said, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. It depends on what you want.
And again, if you're gonna talk about a wrestler being underutilized for their talent, know what their career was before you start talking about it. Because again, Okada, what is he, 8 or 9 times now the IWGP Heavyweight Champion?
Probably more than that.
Okay, so yeah, but Jesse, if we saw what Impact did to him, he became a superhero.
Why is Dixie a clown?
Dixie's just a douche.
Just fucking stupid.
Oh my god.
How do you let you got Kazuchika Okada in your building,
and they had him for a good couple of months,
and that's what you did with him?
Yeah, he became the Green Hornet.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. Leroy's age. You cannot convince me that Hulk Hogan knows how to do anything but help Hulk Hogan.
I think even Leroy's gonna say that. Yeah, he's shaking his head. Yes, he knows.
I love Hogan. I grew up on him, but yeah, he's.
But Jesse, okay.
Listen, brother, I've helped young wrestlers. Really, really, Terry. Your history with younger wrestlers is horrible.
Yeah,
that's why the Iron Sheik puts out all the time.
And he calls him a jabroni.
He does.
The biggest damn jabroni, Hogan.
Yeah.
Just a dumb piece of shit. Go ahead.
Anyway,
I don't want to get on him.
But
today.
my point is this. but to sort of circle back and to do it all. So Moxley returned. That's great.
Correct.
Mustafa, we don't really necessarily know where that's going. Jesse's gonna wait. Jesse's gonna wait and see.
Right.
But no, Tony, you're not better than Vince at this because here's the deal. The wrestlers might not like the way Vince does business, but Vince knows when it's time to really do the money.
Right.
And you're just like, I'm gonna just do free TV.
Okay.
Yeah. We're just gonna give you a match on live syndicated television on TBS.
Right.
Instead of, and by the way, Jesse, you still have to pay $50 for their pay-per-view.
I'm not.
Well, no, but their fans will, is what I'm saying.
I mean, the hardcore fan, I'm glad you guys exist.
Yeah. Because otherwise, we wouldn't have to talk about that.
Like, you allow me to show up to your house to watch the show because I will. Like, I mean, listen.
I ain't paying for it myself.
The last 2 pay-per-views of the years were bangers. But would I have paid $50 for them? Not a chance.
No.
Not a chance.
No.
So $50, $10, $50, $10.
So let's talk about
That's what
AEW.
I'm paying.
You know what? My new saying for those who have been watching my streams, by the way, there's been 1 or 2 people who listen to us here and got the chance to watch my streams. I like to call this the bubble. For you guys, for my 2 colleagues here, I call it the bubble because people sometimes put themselves in a situation where I need to just call out bullshit.
All right.
And so I tell them, well, guess what? We are here now in this bubble. This bubble is uncomfortable. It will not feel like a safe space because here comes honesty.
Leroy, I love you, but whilst in this bubble, please put on some deodorant.
I'll shower at least.
Okay. In the bubble? Ugh.
No,
all right.
No, not in the bubble.
Before the bubble.
Before I get in the bubble.
Okay, fine.
So here's the thing,
Please.
AEW.
Yep.
I actually thought that the first half of the show was really, really good.
Well, Jesse, it was great because they finally put Adam Cole in the ring with someone his size.
You and Jim Cornette. You and Jim Cornette.
Jesse, he left for this. the grass ain't greener, but you know what? Your friends apparently know you're a star. That's why you're doing this stupid shit. Now the best champion you had is doing this stupid shit.
I will say this. You and Jim Cornette are a little too hard on my man Orange Cassidy.
No. I'm mad at Cole. Orange is fine with. Orange and I have worked out our differences. But the fact is, and by the way, to be fair, it's actually unfair of you to think that I was referring to Adam Cole was in a ring with opponents the same size. I'm talking about his girlfriend. Chris Statlander's taller than Adam Cole.
Chris Statlander was taller than all of them.
I know.
That was a terrible visual, by the way.
But Jesse, that's what Jim's trying to get at. Are you sure you don't want to cut your hair and go back? Are you sure you don't want to go manage somebody?
I'll do one comment. It might hurt my throat a little bit. Just when you say, her comment, it's like, that's a huge bitch.
Listen, beautiful woman.
Yes.
Good woman.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, she's like fact she's so much taller than them.
But that's just it, Jesse. It's not even an thing.
They did a face to face.
She looked over Cole's head.
Over his fucking head. I'm like, yeah, that's not a good look.
I'm not mad at Orange Cassidy. I'm mad that Adam Cole has Jesse. Come on, Jesse? This is not better than what he was doing in WWE.
Well, no, because I still believe if all he had to do was continue to stick to his guns about certain things,
and they would have given him his name back within a couple of weeks,
right?
Because people would have still chanted it.
He also. Like he said, his conversations with Vince were very good. So that means you knew you had a good relationship with him.
He left for the hair and the name. That was it.
I think, like I said, he left because of his fiance.
And I get that, but what I'm saying is that Jesse, she could have just let her contract run out, and she would have been up there.
Well, she kind of said, "Why would I go?" Blah blah blah. But here's the thing, Britt. You wouldn't have needed to force your own way to help to put yourself over.
But Jesse, that's the thing. She's even somehow forgotten that she's had to put herself over because they botched her freaking first 3 months.
Yes, they did. Really badly.
She was supposed to be their top babyface against Nyla Rose.
Right.
Couldn't figure that out. We don't know why. And then out of nowhere, she gets herself over as a heel, even though because they put her on a boat with wind they couldn't control. And said, do this scripted bullshit promo that was garbage to me. Whoever writes the promos over there, you can't tell me WWE's staff is worse than this shit. She got herself over, Jesse.
She did.
WWE would have at least taken that and run. You said it yourself. Mr. Omega, for 2 months, mulled over a piece of paper where the heading said, okay, the return address was Greenwich, Connecticut.
Yes, it was.
That was the return address.
Correct.
Of Titan Towers.
Correct.
And you said it yourself. Vince, and by the way, I believe you said recently it wasn't for NXT, it was for a main roster.
It wasn't even NXT. It was technically for main roster.
Which means...
he wouldn't even have gone to NXT.
Which means that Vince would have brought him in, asked for some footage, because Vince always looks for footage.
And them in New Japan do have a good working relationship as far as that's concerned.
And again, Vince is cool with Inoki's family.
Right.
He's good with, he's good with the family. So... But the thing is that he would have looked at it, and Vince being the master that he is, because he still is a master of promotion, he would have said, okay, highlight this, low light that. Vince in 20 minutes.
They would have put a superstars package on him.
Oh,
for sure.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was he would have been the biggest name to come there since AJ. Like, it would have been huge.
Yeah.
So.
And oddly enough, you might still not have been exposed in America as you are now.
You're talking about height, that, Adam Cole's so short.
Yeah.
Okay. He's booked on Wikipedia as 5'11". Britt Baker, 5'7".
Yeah.
And Chris Statlander, 5'9".
There's no way
there's no goddamn way Chris Statlander is 5'9". Who the hell wrote that? Chris Statlander 5'9". That's a bunch of horse shit if I ever saw it.
Way.
I thought Britt Baker was taller.
She towered over Riho, who's got to be 5'6".
Well, it feels like she towers over fucking
Nyla.
Well, no, Britt.
Yeah, she does.
And Adam's like, I don't. That's what it says on Wikipedia.
Well, like I said,
let's get back to the show.
I've seen, when we will, but I've seen Adam in person. Like I said, he's about your height, Leroy. He really is.
Yeah.
He's 5. Yeah, they're giving.
They're
giving him 5 inches.
The other thing about it is that, and again, I don't think it's understating to say WWE hid the fact that Cole got sick for many years ago and is really not able to train. And by the way, he was actually somewhat getting into shape when he got in towards the end of his NXT run.
Right.
There was some muscle definition coming back.
Right.
But now I don't think he's working out anymore to the rate that WWE probably had him do it. So Adam Cole has gone back to looking like the guy who came back from being sick.
Right.
And I hate to say it, but it's lost a lot of luster, the whole story time with Adam Cole at this point. I don't know what it is, because that's not a WWE thing. That's an Adam thing.
Yeah.
It seems like even Adam, even though he won't show it because they're his best buds, even he doesn't seem as motivated to do this anymore as he did in NXT. And that's me speaking not from any reports, nothing. That's just what I'm watching.
It's a very carefree, and I'm not saying that they don't care,
right?
But it's so everything's gonna be good kind of deal.
It's recess all day.
Which is, I guess it's a great analogy.
That's awesome. What are you talking about?
It's such a carefree
Doesn't make as much money though.
But because here's the thing: when you take your shit a little bit more seriously, is when you become a superstar.
Sad part about it is when Adam Cole was quote unquote revived, he yelled out the name of somebody who took this seriously.
Right.
Super Dragon. Super Dragon took this shit more seriously than these guys are.
Super Dragon was not a joke, boys. Super Dragon would fuck up a fan.
Yes.
Super Dragon was not a joke.
No.
You respected Super Dragon because he would fight you.
But just Jesse, that's my point. Is that I don't care that he left because of his hair, even though it seems like it's a funny internet thing to say now. I don't care that he left for love. I gave up a very well-paying job to stick around for the girl that I got, and I don't regret it for a day. I don't. But Jesse,
we don't either.
Yeah. All right, appreciate that.
Allison is amazing.
Yes. Yeah, isn't
just
she
you got work on. You got to work on you.
I am petty and I'm proud of it. But my point is this: is that Jesse, all the things that Vince was going to start you with,
right?
They would have been gone in 6 months.
Fuck 6 months. It would have been gone within 2. Especially with his rival now as the commentator. You don't think Pat would have been like, yo, we got to do something again with Adam as an active wrestler?
Yeah.
And Vince would have been like, well, yeah, this will sell, pal. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So, like I said,
Adam and him going back and forth would have been the best part of any SmackDown.
I bet you that's another time Pat would have went heel I don't like this son of a bitch. And it would have been so fun to see. He
already cuts babyface / heel promos on Sonya.
Right.
So it's like but just Jesse, it seems that more and more that the carefreeness has trickled into a guy that supposedly took this more seriously. Because here's the deal. Adam was a guy that I said, you watched him on, I think it was Mondays it dropped because they recorded on Sundays. Mm-hmm. But they would play Uno on Up, Up, Down, Down. And it would be the stupidest shit in the world. Yeah. But it was funny to watch.
Yeah, it was.
But when Tuesday rolled around, or Wednesday at the time, you forgot all about him being Chugs. It was Adam Cole, baby.
Right.
But now, Jesse, the crowd's into it. The music's not that bad. I actually kind of enjoy it.
I mean, that song's really good.
Yeah, it's a great song. But it's just Jesse.
I must give AEW a little bit of that over WWE.
Oh, they pay for the rights to music. I'll 100% give them that.
I'll give that billionaire that much.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, fuck, you want that song? That's your song.
But it just seems like the carefree attitude.
WWE won't hire me to do the music.
No, they won't.
Continue.
Damn.
That's a job that you could apply for.
That's a job I should apply for.
Yes. But my point is this, is that it seems like the carefree attitude of all those idiots who were only going to get paid $500 to wrestle in bar wrestling.
Right.
It's now trickling down to the Shawn Michaels of our generation. You ain't Shawn Michaels doing this shit. Shawn Michaels wasn't in a mixed tag match with a quote alien who's taller than you.
Here's the thing, because he is talent-wise, he is.
Yes,
he is Shawn Michaels.
He can also speak.
He's so good.
His promos put over the Young Bucks more than the Young Bucks wrestling.
I don't even want to get into them.
That's fair.
Hell, they weren't even on the show. They were on Rampage.
Well, that's why the show was over 1 million again, because they weren't there.
There might be a correlation there.
It's like the most popular Nickelback music video was the Rockstar video. Why they weren't in it? They said that themselves.
Here's the thing. So I thought the first half of Dynamite was actually pretty good. You had the Mox thing, you had the mixed tag, which I thought was still really, really good.
Did the first half include your boy Mr. Spears?
By the way, that was phenomenal. that was so good because
they gave it a C+.
Here's the thing. Oh, boo, Bleacher, boo.
They suck.
Tony, see, that's why I'm not telling Tony to shut up today, because maybe he listens to the show just in passing and goes, yeah, fuck, this dude is a clown.
Yeah.
This guy's worthless to me.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's worthless to MJF, too.
Hey, Phillip. Beat him in 2 minutes.
Yeah, right.
So what you're going to do is you're going to go out there with your entrance, right?
It's a minute and 54 seconds longer than,
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me do this properly, as Tony Khan. So Sean, you're going to go out there with your music, okay?
There we go.
And then as CM Punk comes out, you're going to threaten him with the chair. Okay, but then you're going to turn around. You're going to take a GTS. Okay, and you're going to get pinned. Dude, that's like a minute. So you're going to take a GTS. And you're going to get pinned. As a matter of fact, MJF, you won't have but 3 words to say as you're on commentary. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Oh, God, it was so good.
I've never seen Jesse this happy for a segment on Spot Monkey.
Oh, they bury this is a burial, and I like it. Because even for old CM Punk, you don't deserve to be in that ring with him.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So quick.
You start playing funeral music for him.
And you know what was funny?
That's probably copyrighted, too.
Right. You know what was funny? Is his wife was actually pissed at the booking.
Yeah.
So Cassie Lee, formerly known as Peyton Royce, now women's tag team champion in Impact,
and doing a hell of a job.
Cough, WWE, you fucking idiots. Anyway,
we did say it. They screwed up the Iconics. We said it.
And the whole women's tag thing, they just. I don't even know why the belts exist anymore.
There's only one team left, and they have the belts.
They should literally only exist in NXT. At least they still have women tag teams.
Right.
Here's the thing. Cassie, you're going to support your husband. I get it.
Yep.
Everybody supports the partner they love.
Allison doesn't, but have you met me?
Because Allison is smart and understands.
She supports you in her own way.
Exactly.
She understands you are a lower mid-carder.
Yes.
And every now and then you take your fucking burial.
And
so
she's the champ.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you just got to deal with it.
Yeah. And then you shut your mouth.
Exactly.
So
Not really, but yeah.
I'll get her some duct tape. That'll be my wedding gift.
No, my mom found out that didn't work years ago. Anyway.
But Cassie, listen, you are an excellent performer. You and your best friend, to me, are like the Edge and Christian of female. They're that good.
Oh, I agree.
Your husband don't deserve to be on the same level as you, sweetie. This dude has never been anything but a mid-carder. The inspirational 10 stuff was cool in NXT. It didn't get him anywhere on the main roster. He wasn't... See, here's my problem with Sean Spears, and always been my problem with Sean Spears. So now you want to change your character. You were... To give Bruce bitch-ass Pritchard some credit... Apparently, he was offered to change his character, especially during the feud with Baron Corbin.
Okay.
Because they were actually interested in using him because he's a decent wrestler.
Yeah.
That's why he opened a school. He's actually a really decent wrestler. Yeah.
And you've said before he's one of the better technical guys.
I do believe he's one of the better technical guys in the game.
Yeah.
Didn't want to do it then. You wanted to stand on your moral ground. Mm-hmm. Where has it gotten you? GTS. Beat within a minute.
Yep.
Beautiful. You deserve it, you clown. Go back to the back, you scrub. As a matter of fact, go scrub Tony's shoes because that's what your job should be. You stink. You stink.
Can we have him scrub MJF's boots? Somebody.
Actually, MJF might do it himself after that loss.
That's fair. That's fair.
By the way, that guy will be in WWE in 3 years. I'll take a bet from any AEW fan. He's gone. Because they're not going to put the title on him. They're going to.
I do agree.
They're going to keep screwing up. Then when he actually leaves, they're going to be like, "Oh, I guess that wasn't the kayfabe." No, I bet you he was serious as shit when he said that.
Well, not only that, but it's like Jim Cornette said. In a couple of years, if everyone's got their right senses, which I assume WWE will,
right,
there's going to be a bidding war for this guy.
Right.
Because here's the deal: if the contract just runs out, that means WWE can talk to him whenever the fuck they want.
Right.
Because last I checked, there's no tampering in professional wrestling.
Nope.
Because there's no governing body.
Nope.
You can tamper all you fucking want.
And I love.
Because guess what? Hold on. I'm sorry. Guess what? The fucking Young Bucks walked away from their deals with Impact to go work with ROH.
Yes, they did.
They quit Impact to go to ROH early, which Jim Cornette said, well, boys, we can't talk to you until this point. So they quit. They quit to go work with Jim Cornette. Sorry, boys, you did. That's been proven far past what Jim has said. Jesse knows exactly what I'm talking about.
You know, I Leroy, before I let you go ahead and speak your piece,
okay.
I'm going to actually give your boy you guys' boy Jim Cornette a lot of credit when it comes to the Bucks. You want to know why? Because while he gives them a lot of shit nowadays, I've gone back, I've listened to a lot of the experience and him talking about his experience with them. He really did try to get them to understand, like, I do believe in you guys.
Yep.
There's just a couple things I want you to change.
Yep.
Because
Could you sell one move?
Because God, don't get me started on that shit. But, you know, because he saw, listen, a generation gravitates to you.
Yep.
If you work with me on these couple of things, I believe, because I think he even said, he never believed they should have went to Japan in the sense of you could have been mega stars here,
yeah,
making more than just $1 million without Vince, maybe tens of millions of dollars without Vince. If you just, you know, because I do believe Jim, as far as especially storytelling in the business, has always been one of the best bookers in the game.
We've said before, if you something I wish would happen, whether Jim's alive or not, for it to happen, is put out the OVW TV shows from when he was booking the WWE developmental down there.
So good.
It was
man.
some of the most consistent wrestling.
Because he also understands what Paul does. Don't show a person's weakness as you're developing them. Sharpen the strengths. Show the strengths.
Which is why do so many of these backstage tape segments on AEW, why are they put to air? Because I'm sorry. No wrestling territory anywhere back in the day. You want to talk about the good ones, the bad ones,
right.
The indifferent ones, would have been like, that's what we aired. We couldn't get a better take than that. Was that the first take or the 80th take? Because here's the deal. While Dusty Rhodes, yes, never wrote anything down,
right.
He did a couple of takes of things to make sure he got it out right.
Because you're taping it to put it in between the matches as the wrestlers are walking to the back.
Yeah.
So people on TV don't see that part.
Yeah.
They just, they kind of see the promo, and then I believe Vince was the first to actually go, I'm going to actually put the promo on the screen to actually also kind of distract the fans.
Yes.
That way, it's just a smooth show as
right.
the wrestlers are leaving.
Yeah.
We're getting ready for the next thing.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah. Which, by the way, unless you're the fans directly in that aisleway, you're not paying attention
right.
to the person walking.
Which most, if you're in that aisleway, well, you're there so you can try to get a high five.
Exactly.
Which is no problem.
Which, by the way, if you're in the aisle, let the kids go get the high five. What are you doing? It's just come on.
Right, like, hey, put your kids up there. Like, hey, can you get
Because this is another thing that I've wanted to say, and I'm going to go off on a little tangent here because AEW is sometimes guilty of, or the fans of AEW are very guilty of certain things here.
They're guilty of everything.
Well, there's that. If a wrestler, I don't know, skips over you and doesn't give you the autograph, this, that, yada, yada. Let me explain something. Leroy and I were fortunate enough to witness arguably one of the greatest of all time, Ultimo Dragon, and Sonny Ono together.
Oh, wow.
I'm
they were together,
excited about that.
But here's the deal. They both had a booth. We both knew that. You were charged for autographs, photos, stuff like that. They were in the big room. But here's the deal. We saw them literally right after the show. We said thank you.
Right.
But we didn't ask for a photo because that's, in my opinion, disrespectful to the wrestler who did have a booth.
Right.
Who did sit there and signed a bunch of autographs. He took the photos.
Right.
To me, it's disrespectful if you had a booth to ask for a free picture after the show when you technically were there getting paid to do. So that's my personal opinion.
We saw him having lunch before.
Right.
We didn't bother him.
No. I've always said, if you don't try to bother them, you might get a better memory out of it than... Because here's the deal. Did you and I ask Jerry the King Lawler at one point for his autograph? No.
And everybody was so mad.
We got to talk with the man for a good 20-minute car trip. That was enough.
My seat was christened with a WWE Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I can't say anything else.
So, but no, but it's the same thing like with any sporting event. You get a puck, which has happened to me. It's very painful because pucks don't go over softly. They don't.
Oh no, they come at a high speed.
Yes. Especially when you're sitting where the glass is just parted because you're right behind the bench.
See, I've been to some hockey games in my day. I don't understand you white people. I'm not trying to get hit in the face with that fucking thing.
Don't look at it.
Fuck looking at it. It's coming at you. Like that.
Three people I refuse to mess with on the street. Pro fighters, fake or not. Former military or current military. Anyone who ever played goalie.
Here's my
You're
thing.
A fucking psychopath.
I've also been behind the plate at a baseball game. You want to know why, as a black man, I feel comfortable with that? Because there's a fucking net there. So that thing comes back.
Here, I'll give you a good suggestion at a hockey game. If you're there and you see pucks flying, just grab a white dude next to you and shove it in front of you.
Well, that's my plan.
That's his plan.
I mean, you guys don't mind.
No.
Oh,
you're going to lose teeth. Like, you guys don't mind.
I stopped a puck with my hand. The imprint was there for a couple of days.
You're brave.
My cousin was a goalie.
No. I was in the stands when this happened.
Oh, I know, but my cousin was a goalie.
Yeah.
He blocked a shot and his chest knocked him out.
Yep. And there's padding there.
They're weighty. They're weighty.
It's vulcanized rubber.
Well, because like I told people, like you can go to a soccer game or an NFL game. You're probably not getting hit with a football.
No.
You're good. You're not getting hit with the football.
No.
But the puck is right there. And this relates to wrestling if you're in the aisle, because why would you shit talk someone that strong who can punch you in your face? So like the guy who tackles Seth Rollins, if he chokes you out, you're in a coma.
Yep. Which is why Seth didn't do anything, because Seth is a highly trained athlete that does know a thing or two.
Let security do it.
Yeah.
So what is up with AEW fans thinking it's okay if I go threaten these professional wrestlers? Like the fat boy who got knocked out by, or almost should have gotten knocked out by MJF. Chris Jericho did it, but I think MJF should have did it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, I boo him as he's coming out, call him an asshole while he's cutting. No, because that's a part of the show.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be able to interact with them like that as part of the show, and that makes the show fun. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
But you jumping out the stands, hey, bro, you deserve to get knocked out. Which brings me
fan etiquette.
Which brings me to Cody fucking Rhodes.
That was actually next on the show.
Yep.
By the way, you'll love this because Bleacher Report dubbed this segment "Cody drops a pipe bomb."
Who?
Cody Rhodes.
No.
Bleacher Report.
I think I'm done with them. Here's the thing.
And they've actually been technically the ones who review this as honestly.
They actually have reviewed it very honestly.
That's a good
They gave
review.
it a C+, but
so the grade might have been more honest in the review. Here's the thing.
They're just throwing stuff at a wall to see if it'll stick for that.
By the way, I was supposed to let you speak, Leroy. I apologize.
For those of you wondering,
yeah.
Well, to be fair, your doctor said you probably should.
Well, no, my throat's feeling better. I'm drinking milk stuff. No,
okay, there you go.
MJF. I know you said we're all thinking he's going to be in WWE 3 years. I too agree. First title he's going to get, and I think he should because I think he would be awesome at it. IC champ.
I agree.
Oh, easily.
To start out.
Easily. Just
definitely.
Just throw him right in that picture.
As a matter of fact, just bring back the white belt with him. It would work.
Yes, it would.
That would be so beautiful.
It would work.
Yes,
so
it
beautiful
would.
with that. Yeah. That's how I feel.
He'd do the white belt more proud than Cody ever did.
So speaking of this ass clown.
There you go.
He took credit for the Forbidden Door. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Here's some I'm not even going to look at my phone. I actually took notes, but I'm not going to look at my phone because I unfortunately remember it in my brain like a nightmare. He comes out.
He is the American Nightmare.
No. He's just a nightmare. So he comes out. He's getting booed heavily. By the way, AEW, stop doing picture-in-picture. You want to know why? Because the fucking commercial is distracting. I would rather be mad at WWE, which I do get during Raw, that they cut off a match sometimes before they were supposed to cut it off for a commercial break. I understand they have to take commercial break. They're getting paid through the advertising. It's no problem. I get that.
Yeah.
But it is.
You're in the music business.
Right.
Certain people will pay you to use a certain instrument at one point. Correct. It might not be your favorite instrument, but somebody handed you money paying to play an instrument.
And the problem with the commercial, the commercial end, kind of thing is that Cody is standing in this fucking ring with his music playing now for 4 minutes before we come back. We come back. So, not only did he is the one that opened the forbidden door, he was the forbidden door. He said he was the forbidden door, good sir.
Yes.
He also apparently.
Did he explain why he was a forbidden door?
The reasoning for why he
I'm
was...
very confused
So,
on
I'll
that.
explain what his reasoning was.
Because even white women said no?
Well, besides that...
I'm getting more yeses than him.
You're winning, sir. Here's the thing. So apparently...
Brandy, we don't care you're black. You just suck.
I'm not going to talk about her. She wasn't on the show.
That's fair.
I don't have to depress myself as a black man because I love to usually support my people. She wasn't on the show.
Which was the best benefit she gave to this telecast.
Oh, my God. She wasn't there. So the reasoning he gave was because I actually gave him credit for not only when he was let go from WWE, going to Ring of Honor, going to Impact, and working with all these promotions because I went, he's going to become a better performer that way.
NWA as well.
NWA as well, which, by the way, he did because his brother told him, listen, Dad always wanted one of us to go at least.
Right, yeah.
And so,
why couldn't it have been you, Dustin?
It should have been Dustin.
Should have been Dustin.
That should be a new thing. It should have been Dustin.
And he was holding on to that version of the belt, too.
Beautiful
it's so
World's Heavyweight Championship belt. So,
well, Dolph Ziggler's not really using the gimmick anymore. I'm sure Dustin could probably just jump on it and still feel fresh.
What's the gimmick from Dolph?
It should have been me.
Oh yeah, he probably should.
Dolph ain't using that anymore, so.
Well, let him go ahead, break away from fucking Bobby Roode, come back in 4 months, and
that's fair.
He'll do it.
That's fair.
He'll do it again.
That's fair.
So here's the thing.
Old reliable.
I gave him a lot of credit for that. Right?
Yeah,
because I thought that was huge. Because then when he started also working with New Japan and all that,
you said he was one of the best things at Wrestle Kingdom that year.
Because he was one of the best workers of the time during that time.
Yeah,
and so
by the way, I believe you rated that match a good 4.5, maybe a 5.
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, it was a 4 out of 5.
I thought he was really, really good.
Yeah.
So that, Leroy, was the reasoning why he is the Forbidden Door. Here's why that's a stupid fucking thing to say.
You're excused, Leroy.
I do concur with that.
It is a stupid thing to say that because all those companies work together. So what door did you open?
True.
No door. None.
Well,
zilch.
Well, to be fair,
zero.
To be fair, he probably opened the screen door to the door that was already open.
And New Japan kicked him right out that door. Here's the thing, man.
Threw him out back with the dirty bathwater.
Then he goes on a rant on why he won't turn heel.
Yeah.
Because you guys love me. You love what I do. And as I'm watching this, I go, he's pleading with them to fucking cheer him.
Yep.
And they did it!
Yep, that happened.
Washington, D.C., listen. And they were a mostly good crowd that night.
They were.
They were very honest, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Except for here.
And I get you deal with the politicians out there.
Yeah.
A lot of liars. You're used to that out there.
You guys got a lot to deal with.
A lot of liars in D.C.
But you got played.
And you fucking bought it hook, line, and sinker.
Yep.
And then...
Are they so desperate for entertainment in Washington, D.C.?
Probably.
Their football team sucks. The Capitals are sadly hockey nobody watches.
Well, here's the thing. The Nationals are okay.
The Wizards are actually good.
The baseball team has actually been good. Almost won a World Series a few years back.
Oh, they did, actually.
Yeah, they actually did.
Yeah, they did.
Here's the thing.
Yep.
Then, Leroy, he talks about now that he's a babyface, that the other babyface with the interim title may not actually deserve to be champion because he's the real champion.
Well, this was the problem Jim had a couple weeks ago with the whole Julia Hart House of Black thing, because think about it. 3 babyfaces beat up the heel after 2 babyface teams just faced each other. Because Bear Country was...
Right. A babyface team.
Babyface team against the... Yeah. So anyway, again, the old tired tropes in wrestling. Cody, maybe if you believed in him, your company wouldn't be so shit.
Well, here's the thing. He also believes that title's not a mid-card title.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that.
Yeah.
By the way, at this point with Adam, it feels like it's not. Feels like it's, we waited a year for this man to become champ. By the way, I'm circling this in because this was next. By the way, also, people bitch about WWE and all of its talking, right?
Yep.
There's a lot of fucking talking in this episode of Dynamite.
There was.
By the way, they've been doing it a lot more. You cannot convince me this is a pure wrestling company. Like, it's hard to convince me that this is not a sports entertainment company as well.
And everyone's like, well, look at the total times of wrestling. Here's the deal. Just because you give me a match with underneath talent for 20 freaking minutes doesn't mean that it was the quality that WWE gave me with real stars. You're telling me that if I see Bobby Lashley destroy somebody for 5 minutes, that's worth watching in friggin' underneath guys like Serpentico go for 20 minutes?
The Seth Bobby main event, I believe, was only clocked in at 7 minutes. But you can't tell me before that ending it wasn't a banger match.
Yep.
So here's the thing. So we got Cody doing that.
Yep.
Which, by the way, because he's on vacation with his new lover, Sammy Guevara records his response.
Yes.
Fucking stupid.
Yep.
Because here's the thing. Just shoot it, to quote Bill, fuck it, do it live. You're in a hotel room about to bang her, just do it live. Cody, let me interrupt you from the hotel room as I'm about to bang this hot chick that everyone wanted. And
hold on, I got to lay some sausage, but hey, first.
By the way, apparently no one's a bad guy anymore in AEW.
Nope.
No one. We're all tweeners or baby faces. Here's the thing, man. And then next is fucking. I was happy to see Lance Archer come back because I think Lance Archer is one of the best big men.
That was actually after a certain segment, but we'll get to. But
okay.
But no. The segment that is actually before Lance was phenomenal, and I want to get into it. But so we'll go Lance first because this was not as good as what happened before it.
Sorry, I remembered it out of order. The Cody thing has pissed me off now for 4 or 5 days.
Because here's the deal: Cody and Sammy, and I guess Ty, got a C+. The segment following it, which we'll get into in a second,
was that for Condom Plus?
I don't know.
I mean, listen, Sammy.
Maybe.
I mean, listen, man. If you're gonna end your engagement, you might as well raw dog her, right? But go ahead. Lance Archer. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm hurting our YouTube right now. Here's the thing.
Oh no, we're not.
No, we're not.
Okay.
No, don't worry.
Okay.
All right. So Lance
might get more views.
So Lance Archer versus Frankie Kazarian, who, by the way, Frankie Kazarian is one of the people that
He'll be gone.
So you had Frankie Kazarian, who was one of the better workers in the business for the last 20 years.
Pure worker.
Just straight pure worker, and you're just going to do exactly what Impact did, never do anything with him.
Waste his time.
And let him walk out.
Waste his time. So
I'm serious though. Has anybody had more of a waste of time with bigger television companies than Frankie Kazarian?
It's a damn shame.
Because people forget Frankie Kazarian was in was it Serotonin? Was what Raven had for that period of time there?
I think so.
Serotonin, yeah.
Well,
I
will say this about Frankie: his initial runs with TNA, Impact / NWA at its beginnings was really good.
Yes,
but
that's what got Frankie on the map. But then you had people come in that just didn't believe it.
And then his initial run with ROH was really, really good.
Oh, I love. Okay. By the way, that same.
I think that was the beginnings of the kind of tag team stuff with Chris Daniels.
Well, I was gonna say they were there when we went to that Buck show, and I actually have Chris's comic book.
Yeah. By the way, it's great.
Yeah.
Chris doing a lot more stuff with New Japan Strong and stuff like that, which is wonderful.
Which is great. Oh, yeah.
I love seeing Chris just be a great wrestler.
Oh, God.
Because he's phenomenal
at 50.
He's phenomenal.
At 50.
By the way, apparently actually is a doctor. So I used to wonder, like, why is he out there acting like a doctor? Apparently he actually is a physician.
Is it sad that right now the best thing that AEW could have put on television is arguably two 50-year-olds, Dustin versus Chris, and they just never bothered with it.
Right. So Lance has this match, wins. It was a fine match. It's clearly there to put over Lance as a supposedly credible threat to Adam. He's getting ready to basically annihilate Frankie Kazarian. Adam comes out to do the babyface save, which I have no problem with.
Which, by the way, sadly, this is the only thing Archer does when he's heel is just annihilate people smaller than him.
Right. Well, I mean, that's been his character since he showed up to New Japan, though.
Yeah, but see, Gato actually puts some life, some body to it.
And he also let him cut promos.
Exactly. Lance never spoke, but would somehow be throwing Sonny Kiss around like a rag doll everywhere. So it's like Sonny. At some point, ask security to escort you to the ring.
Like, hey, Sonny, like you got to get a restraining order or something because
it was like 3-4 weeks in a row on Dynamite. Lance just threw Sonny in the ring.
Like, dude, this is kind of harassment now. You can file a harassment lawsuit.
We're there.
Like, we see it on national television.
Yep.
Here's the thing about this whole feud, because he's not going to win.
No.
But Adam has not looked good since the first match with Bryan.
Yep.
Like, yeah, he got the win over him, but it didn't even feel that strong.
No.
Because you're like, well, you're not going to tie again.
Well, but okay. This is another thing that Jim says, which I agree with, whether other people want to disagree or not. Unless you are this person who has run a gimmick for years that you're kind of the anti-establishment type person, when you become world champion, you put on a suit. You at least look the part. You like okay, quote unquote. Forget the suit thing. You realize you've moved up in the world.
Okay.
Adam. I don't even know what doing cowboy shit is because he has done nothing cowboy since the freaking moment that we started doing this. He doesn't walk around with the noose anymore because I guess apparently the noose thing is like Jesse, we get it. Okay, right, it's a noose, but at the same time, no one cared in ROH. No one cared in New Japan.
He could, instead of a noose, he could have a rope.
Yeah.
Without the noose. I don't think it would be as bad.
Well, I mean, there was a little the whole cowboy shit thing is like him being the rebel, blah blah blah. But
or it had a cowbell on it too,
which there was, by the way.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like the whole booking with the Young Bucks turned him into a fucking drunk anyway. Yeah. So I was just like, so cowboy shit is just kind of.
And I love how Kenny Omega made himself look better than his tag team partner by drinking milk in a bar. That
see. Listen. This is why his whole thing in AEW has pissed me off because it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make you look cool to drink milk in a bar.
Okay.
In a football stadium.
There's only one person that would look cool drinking milk in
Kurt
a bar.
Angle.
And we interviewed him.
Yes.
Kurt Angle. That's it.
Yes, we did.
Make sure you go to the YouTube 13 card subject change.
God, I love that plug.
Here's the thing. He looks like a weak champion. Now everyone wants to talk about Big E.
You think?
And here's the thing. I have no problem with Big E kind of being there for his friend on SmackDown because, well, the other tag team partners hurt.
It's also Royal Rumble season.
Right.
This happens every year. Yep. Vince just says, forget the rosters. Just
jumble
it up.
Forget the brand split because after the Rumble, we'll have our clear path to what we're trying to do at Mania anyway.
Yeah.
So he looks like a mid-card champion at best.
Mid-card?
Like, at best.
Mid-card? This is the Cruiserweight Championship towards the end of WCW.
Like
am I wrong?
Like outside of the time.
Time out. Seriously, am I wrong?
I don't know.
Think back to the end of WCW when that title literally got passed around like freaking peanuts, and nobody's Jesse. Think back to the end of the Cruiserweight division. No one was established. They didn't have a story. The title just changed hands every other freaking match.
That's a very good analogy there. Yeah, I agree with you.
I will say this: he's never lost the title.
No,
but he doesn't feel like a strong champion.
Big E won matches as the champion. What has Adam Page done since he got the belt?
Also, people like, oh man, Brock just beats New Day. Brock, it took 2 F5s.
Yeah.
People forget that. Kofi, took the one match over. No one liked that booking. Neither did I. Apparently, Brock has said in private, neither did he.
No.
Here's the thing, though. Because he actually wanted to have an actual match with Kofi.
Yeah.
And we might get it down the line. Here's the thing, though. It took 2 F5s at day one. He had to take a spear and 2 F5s to put Big E down.
Does this mean that the end of days is now more protected than the F5?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, listen. Paul Heyman ruined that. Brock's second. Seriously, because people were just kicking out of 1 F5.
Yeah.
Sometimes 2.
Yeah.
I remember people forgot Undertaker kicked out of 3 at WrestleMania. It was the 4th one that beat him.
Yep.
But Paul was like, as he said, you get the big stuff. And so, while they were only in the ring for 10 minutes, you feel really impacted by all of it. Because you're like, oh, my God. Oh. So, but otherwise.
It's also funny to me, when you go back and watch that Fatal 5-Way, that's the Fatal 5-Way that Killer Kross should have been in.
I agree.
Because that's the style of Fatal 5-Way that Killer Kross works. And that's why I said I'm not mad that Killer Kross would. Because, again, we all say that he got screwed in the main roster. But what sort of exposed him was the fact that it should have been Kross waiting for the winner of the Fatal 4-Way.
Right.
Because Kross did not belong in the match.
No.
Now, you can go back and listen to when we reviewed it, and I said maybe he was perfect because he was the anti of that thing. But as time has gone on and you watch it again, he was the last human being that should have been in that match.
I agree.
Brock has found a way to always work with smaller guys. Brock, I think, would have worked well with Cole Gargano and the rest of them.
He works really well with smaller
guys. Yeah, exactly.
Guys.
But it's just Kross. Again, this is the Fatal 5-Way that Kross should have been in.
It's like Brock likes to sell for smaller guys. He's kind of weird about it. But here's the thing. Adam Page just doesn't look like a strong champion.
And by the way, can we stop calling him the Hangman? He hasn't hung anybody by the ropes.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't done anything that involves a noose. And Jesse, I get it. It's a tough subject because of American history, especially recent American history. Rest in peace, Ahman Aubrey.
Right.
Glad that worked out because boy howdy was that obvious. But the thing is this. Jim Cornette's only asking for one thing in wrestling, and he's asking it from everybody, so this is the consistency.
Right.
Can we just do things that make them look like legitimate people?
I agree.
Why does Chris Stanlander have to be an alien when she's technically over 6 feet tall and is fairly talented as a woman and damn looks great doing it?
Yeah.
But why do we have to gimmick everything when, again, what made wrestling fantastic and 10 million people were watching every night was The Rock and Stone Cold were as real got.
They really were.
Yeah.
When 10 million people were watching Raw. Which, by the way, I had an argument with someone the other day, Jesse. It was just a random group on Facebook, but they were like, the Attitude Era was great. The whole thing was amazing. I'm like,
just the main event, people. Maybe the Intercontinental title picture, and then when Edge, Christian, the Hardys, and the Dudleys got into the tag division. Because otherwise, it was terrible. It was garbage TV.
Yes.
Going back on Peacock and watching it, Leroy, you'd be like, I think I want to puke. That's why sometimes I give a pass to the bad booking nowadays, because I'm like, it's actually not as bad as that.
I go watch the Saturday Night Main Event stuff because I loved watching that stuff.
Oh my God, they had a marry a chick match once in WWF, and the dude who. Actually, it wasn't even a finish now that I think about it.
Yep.
I think it was Val Venus and someone else.
Yep.
And there wasn't even a finish.
Nope.
And then they never spoke on the story again.
Nope.
And I'm like, what the fuck? It was so weird going back and watching it. I'm like, why did I think this was good? And then I remember, because they sprinkled in the main event scene throughout Raw. And
Quick question. Is Val Venus in any highlight video of the Attitude Era?
Only a couple. I
like using his line.
Hello, ladies.
That's fair.
I've done that walking in the kitchen at work because there was all ladies in there. I could get away with that.
Maybe.
I will say this.
I got away with it. Then they gave me a dirty look and said, shut up.
Yep.
There's him getting his penis cut off.
Yep.
There's him doing the money shot off of a ladder.
Well, that's because Vince, quote unquote, still gets a tickle out of the line, choppy.
Stupid. That was, by the way, that was on national television.
Yes, it was.
So was
but
the birth
we still
of
can't
the
get
hand.
FTR versus the Briscoes.
Okay, the birth of the hand was on
Yes,
TV.
it was.
Leroy, I was hoping he would drown you out. So, people, if you don't know about this, they had, God rest her soul, Mae Young, give birth to a freaking hand on TV.
Yes, and
with Mark Henry.
With her chocolate lover.
And the supposed husband was big, sexy, sexual chocolate, the world's strongest man.
I've met him.
The only time it was actually funny was years later when they had a grown-ass man dressed as a hand.
Yes!
And go to Mark Henry and say, "Hi, Dad."
Yep.
Because then I'm like, oh, there's a payoff to the story.
It only took 5 years.
Finally.
It took like 15 years, but this dude looks like he's 30. But hey, we got a payoff.
Long-term booking.
But fucking awful long-term booking.
But back to the terrible long-term booking of the Hangman.
What long-term booking? Like, we got the story with Kenny.
Time out, hold on. Even you forget that he goes home for the birth of his kid, and we don't just say, screw it, let's put somebody else in there with Omega. We still wait a goddamn, another 30 freaking days to just do the same fucking match? Time out. This is no, we have to discuss this. They fucking didn't, at least Vince says, screw it, we'll work it into another pay-per-view. Yeah. They literally just brought it back.
I know. Dressed
as the freaking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And you're wrestling, right? You're not sports entertainment, but you got me the Stay Puft. All I needed was Dan Aykroyd to say the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
The Elite dressed as Ghostbusters.
So did Adam Cole.
Because it was Halloween.
Yep. That was your main event.
I know.
That was your main event.
It was so fucking stupid that Bryan Danielson, legitimately made some funny jokes and people booed him. But he was legitimately right. Like, I'm not a dude who dresses up for Halloween. Like, I'll kick your shit down your throat. And people booed him for saying that. And I'm like Chad Gable, like, ew, don't boo common sense, guys. That's not cool. Don't boo common sense.
Yeah.
Listen, he's gonna get the win. It's meant to make him look like a stronger champ. What they need to do is let him beat an Adam Cole.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Because if Adam Cole's the next in line, you would think everyone's going to think, okay, well, Adam's going to win the title.
Yeah.
But if Adam actually loses...
Because he's not Punk, he's not Danielson.
Right. If he runs through Adam Cole and then CM Punk, now he looks like a strong, credible champion.
But see, Jesse, this is my point.
But he's not going to lose to Punk when that happens.
But see, Jesse, this is my point.
Or beat Punk when that happens.
This is my point. They continue, and by the way, I will say this till the cows come home because this is 100% true. They think every single person that's on Dynamite is over.
They're not.
I'm sorry, Bear Country's not over. Bear Country's a hell of a good tag team right now.
They should be over.
Well, yeah, they should be, but they're only on YouTube. With you and 700 people that you still aren't allowed to give us the names of because I'm pretty sure you're all in hiding. You're the only one who's come forward.
We're not fully in hiding. It's just it's hard. It's hard to be proud to watch something when they don't even fucking address it at all.
That's fair.
Here's the thing. Hook is over.
Yeah.
But Hook is only on Rampage.
Yep.
Ricky Starks is over. But you never feature him.
No.
Never use. And I understand he has a neck issue, but you could be smart about how to do
by
that.
the way. Mm-hmm. Ricky Starks was cited with probably Jesse. I don't know, Jesse. Please. You've said that he's one of the smartest black men in wrestling. Someone needs to figure out how Jay Lethal can hide himself because he's the hardest man to find in wrestling. But he finally has reappeared to work with Dante because apparently Leo just walked out the door and we have to... By the way, hold on. Continuing storylines, don't just drop what Dante was doing with Leo even though no one gave a shit. We're just going to replace it with one of the best fucking wrestlers in the world. And we're going to minimize arguably one of the greatest African-American world champions in the last 40 freaking years.
Right.
Probably longer. We're just going to minimize him, and now he's going to be the quote-unquote, mentor to Dante Martin. I love Dante.
Homegrown
but drop this and let him go do something, or let Lethal actually not just replace Lio Rush.
Yep.
Let Lethal make Dante into a star. Don't just say, Dante, you need someone with you, and then minimize one of the greatest champions.
I forget his name, but he's one of my favorite commentators, black commentator on YouTube about wrestling, and he said, this is the first. He was like, this is the second big strike I now have against AEW. Did you guys just replace one black dude with another black dude? This is what they did.
Literally, yes.
Lio Rush walks out the door. Don't find something else to feature one of your best budding young talents.
Just finish the story.
Or I don't know, do what Vince does and drop it, because guess what? Nobody fucking cared to begin with.
Just finish the story where Ricky Starks beat him on his way out. Who gives a shit?
Well, that's the thing. Leo Rush, you've retired how many goddamn times? You've no-sold a goddamn moonsault through a table in CZW. I'm sorry, you can't get, for once in your goddamn life, be professional and do a job on the way out?
No, I can't.
We're just going to announce on the friggin' internet that his contract's running out.
Yeah.
Do the job and shut up!
The only one I actually want to hear that from is Brian Cage, because he has been super silent. He has been super silent.
Because I feel like Brian might be waiting to get a hell of a payday when it's over, and then speak. Because, I mean, to be fair, they put up the graphic. And again, no offense to Ali here, but they put up the graphic. Here's what he has to look forward to. The graphic of him saying he's all elite, 1 hour on Talk is Jericho, gets squashed by somebody on Dynamite, and then he's on Dark. Which is basically how it works if you're not buddies with the freaking elite boys over there. But anyway, back to the show here, Jesse.
The only championship Brian Cage ever held is a championship they don't recognize in AEW.
No one recognizes it. Technically, it was never recognized to begin with. But
there's a great case to be made. Maybe they should.
Well, I agree 100%. But Jesse, we had a fairly good segment to follow Lance Archer's bullshit.
You said before, right?
After.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry, before. Actually, so we had two good segments. Before Lance Archer destroyed Kazarian, Frankie, dude, please go to NWA.
NWA. I'm about to say, go to NWA, man. Go do what you got to do.
It was the House of Black versus the Varsity Blondes.
Yes.
And
Brody King.
Brody.
See, Brody King to me is, for those who don't know, he is my white clone. He's tattooed. He beats the shit out you. He doesn't yell at you about it. He just whispers in your ear, I'm going to fucking chuck you now. Now, some people don't like it, and I'm actually interested to hear what, if Jim actually has any comments on it. So,
his comments were, and I quote, no one in wrestling over the next 5 years should be allowed to get a tattoo. Brody looks a little out of shape because, like you said, Brody can go.
Right.
He's just never been someone that would tone it.
He's not. Well,
he's also not a fan of the fact that the tattoos.
I don't think he's the guy who can get toned. So I mean, so one of the times he was in his best shape, he was working with New Japan Strong.
Jim, he actually has no idea who Brody is because Brody went into Ring of Honor after Jim.
Right.
So to be fair, Jim's first initial reaction was, he looks like every mud show indie wrestler ever. But I think that's because he's never seen Brody work.
So hopefully he'll see him more now.
Well,
because here's the thing about Brody.
To be fair, the visual of Brody is...
Oh, yeah, that was the other thing. So that Mr. Rhodes had to say was the fact that it takes balls to come to AEW and have the name Brody, because you don't need to do a name change. Continue.
Yeah. Anyway, Jim also said you think maybe they would have stayed away from the whole Brody name thing for a little while.
Actually, who cares?
Well, no.
But I do understand. But
yeah, no, I understand. But I just
let it go.
Let me rephrase it because that did sound disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like I said, I actually got the chance to meet the man long ago at a PWG show.
Yeah.
That's no disrespect to Brody Lee.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in this case, it shouldn't matter because Brody King is a brand onto his own.
Well, Brody Lee wouldn't have cared to begin
with.
Right. But no. Jim also said that, and I think I kind of get this from like Jim's old school booking techniques, is the way that Brody King does the tattoos. There is a lot of empty space that kind of outlines the tattoos. which basically Jim's just a little against the fact that, like you said, Brody probably can't tone a lot of what he does, but again, he's also never seen Brody work. So maybe Jim has to watch this because it's a personal mission of his.
I think a fan of his once wrote in that he needs to start watching New Japan.
Yeah, but
because they were like, they were like, well, dude, if you started watching New Japan, especially just Strong, like I think you would have a better take, or better feeling, or better thoughts about the wrestlers before they get to AEW, and you'd be like, man, that's a good looking wrestler that I would have loved to work with.
What I thought was really weird though about this segment, even though banger of a match because the Kings of the Black Throne always work well together.
Brody King, like I was saying, is the side of me I hide. It's just his wrestling persona.
Yes. But no, there was the idea of after the match, well, we've seen Pac for the 4th time in 7 years, who's finally going to go get retribution for the mist, which again I think also missed his face because Tommy, just practice in the back, dude, just do something because you've missed. And by the way, Jim has made a point. Julia looks perfectly fine with the eye patch. At least, and yes, maybe the fireball thing's a little overdone in wrestling with with Boa and God, what's his name down in
Solo Sikoa?
Yeah, Sikoa. But at least Sikoa is
or as I like to call him, Big Oos.
Yes. But at least Sikoa is walking around with burn marks now.
True.
So that's impressive.
Right.
But my point is that it was a great match. I'm glad we see Pac.
Right.
Pac versus Malachi going to be a banger.
It's gonna be excellent.
So the segment that was after Archer and Kazarian,
I think Hikaru and
no, it was Serena and Sky Blue, who you've been trying to push on the show for a while.
Yeah, because Hikaru is now going back to Japan.
Which, by the way, they said in here because I believe this is story. Hikaru is out of action, but Hikaru has returned to.
Good job, guys. Good job. You wasted that young woman's time. I hope she doesn't fucking sign a new contract. I hope she doesn't. I hope the next time we see her in America, it's like for NWA, Impact, or WWE. Good job, guys. You fucking idiots.
All right. Then.
By the way, those are sarcastic claps for those.
Yes. Then Sting and Darby.
By the way, before you leave that.
Yeah.
Why is Serena Deeb once again showing that a woman has to force issue to get herself over?
Thank you. Somebody else needed to say it other than me.
Because you couldn't have did this with Serena when you first got the chance to get her from NWA.
Why are Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa not in a feud? And by the way, they wouldn't need a freaking Friday night match with a bunch of toys to make people stand up and go, holy shit, holy shit.
Right.
No offense to that match, because again, we did enjoy it.
It was really good.
We just hated the booking of it. But why under God's green earth do you have arguably two of the most talented women in this goddamn world, and they're not just right now beating the living crap out of each other every week to see who goes against Britt Baker? Screw the rankings. Screw your bullshit. Why are they not beating the living crap out of each other?
Also, listen, I'm going to say it. I'm not a sexist or a misogynist, but sometimes camera angles matter. So, Leroy.
Was that the kind of the roll-up thing?
So one of Serena Deeb's finishers is the Tequila Sunrise.
Yes.
Which she does do an arch. Now,
which I'm surprised.
Hikaru Shida is very smart to understand.
Which I'm surprised they kept the name because they've got Colts doing the Panama.
Right. So Hikaru Shida was kind of showing the women how to, because by the way, Thunder Rosa already understands arch the back.
Yeah.
Because since they kind of have to do a kind of a side focus on the move and Serena's face itself to kind of show out.
And by the way, proof that Jim is also not sexist in wrestling. As short as Thunder Rosa is, he loves Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, she's excellent.
Because how can you hate Thunder Rosa in her in-ring work?
Yeah.
It's just,
she's phenomenal.
Oh, it's so crisp.
But unfortunately, what they did was they just did a straight down shot. And you can almost expose Sky in certain ways on television that way.
Was that camera like I saw?
Yeah.
She's wearing that blue outfit?
Yeah.
All I saw was crotch.
Yeah, so...
to be blunt.
I'm not saying you need to be WWE as far as that's concerned, because like I said, sometimes I'm watching, by the way, because it happens more on Raw than it does SmackDown. When I'm watching a match and they've cut 20 angles within 5 minutes, and I want to go hit the buck-tooth beaver in his fucking face.
NXT 2.0's. I don't want to say they're starting to do it.
Oh, they'll get there, unfortunately, with Bruce Prichard in charge.
No. They had a couple of matches on Tuesday where that happened a lot, and visually, I'll admit my eyes got a little messed up.
Because you almost can feel it.
Right.
Fuck,
but however, going back and watching, they've decided to put a lot of green talent out there. Yeah. So sometimes you got to flip away from the camera.
And in their case, they're trying to hide.
Exactly.
Mistakes.
Exactly.
So. But not in AEW, because what you should have done is, okay, that if that angle looks a little bad, let's get the camera person on the outside to move to the side, so it's still catching Serena's face. Get him to stand on the thing. It's still catching Serena's face. It's still catching Sky in pain. Of course, you get the other one in front of Sky's face before she taps out.
Right.
Boom. Yep. Solved.
Yep.
No, we just kept that fucking angle the whole time.
Yep.
All I'm saying is you cause your own fucking issues.
And then the main event that I will speak on, because this was some bullshit. Fuck anyone that says this was a good idea.
Oh, this is terrible.
They gave it a B. So, folks, let me explain something, because we gotta get off AEW at some point. Let me explain something.
Yes, please. My
No.
stomach needs to handle it.
No, let's stay on it like you're taking a shit on a toilet.
You cannot tell me that this was a good idea, because Sting has already beaten the Acclaimed up. The 62-year-old with a bad neck has already taken these guys out.
Twice.
So what do? They jump you. They try to get their heat back. We're doing actual, not entertainment, but wrestling angle.
Yeah.
And they beat the crap out of everyone. They do this, they do that. The heels are doing their shit. Everything looks good.
They quote unquote, they get the chance to take Darby out of the match, so it's technically a handicap match. Most of the match.
The Acclaim drop Darby Allin with the mic drop. It should have been over, because that's how you build the heat. No, Sting breaks up the count, and they beat the Acclaimed. They're going to continue this story for another 3 weeks. Book it. Minimum. And and Sting has beaten them twice. Sting has beaten them twice.
No, not Sting. Sting! It's the only thing Tony Schiavone has anymore.
I will say this, Brian, last, I will give you credit for this, because you're right. Fire the entire commentary team. I don't care.
That Sting thing. Oh, no.
Yeah.
That looks really cool on there.
I know.
That recorded really cool on there.
But no, fire them all. I'm serious. I don't care. God bless JR's doing better, but JR doesn't give a shit. Tony adds...
I love JR. He clearly doesn't give a shit.
JR's commentary
keep him on there for that.
JR's commentary is now
but here's why
being nice by telling you you're fucking this up.
Here's why I can't fire Excalibur. He's the only one who knows fucking wrestling moves on that table anymore.
But here's the problem. He doesn't hook anyone to the show.
I understand that, but just put two. Taz should be the other one. By the way,
I agree.
It should be him. It should be Taz, and then maybe Paul, because Paul does a good job on Elevation.
Yeah.
Paul, do that. The show actually might flow really good, because now you got the babyface commentator. You got the heel one.
Tony adds nothing.
Because Tony's a waste of time. And then,
just
as good as
backstage announcer or
right.
interviewer and stuff, that's all you need him.
As far as Jim's concerned,
because you certainly don't need most of the backstage interviewers you got, because they can't get a word out edgewise before somebody beats somebody up.
I love Jim with all my heart, and that as a wrestling fan, I really do mean that.
Yeah.
But unless he's commentating for NWA or New Japan, he shouldn't commentate ever again, because he doesn't care.
No.
But to be fair to him, he's been attacked for caring. So why would he care?
Not only that, but to be fair, Jim knows the legacy that he's been.
Right.
The greatest living announcer.
He's going into Hall of Fame regardless.
Yes, but here's the deal. He is not dumb enough to try to make this legit. Because he can't. He's doing the best he can to not get anything on him. That's what. And by the way, proof in the pudding. He shows up dressed like he just came out of the hotel.
I know.
and yeah, maybe they're lax about that because they barely ever show the commentary booth. But like, I mean, even Excalibur tries with a bad suit jacket.
Right.
I just Jim, you've admitted you've tried to help. Their fans said no. Just leave, please.
Don't waste your time.
I love you, but just and by the way, Jim's voice is on so many great moments. I can never truly stop wanting to listen to Jim.
Exactly.
But the problem is that Jim, there's got to be something for you to do on the barbecue circuit that is better than whatever the hell this is.
He doesn't care, but as I told people when I also say he doesn't care.
No, that's the problem. That's the problem. He does care. That's why he's not doing anything, because he doesn't want to get anything on it. He cares about himself because he should, because this is so bad.
It should be Excalibur. It should be Taz. It should be Paul.
Yeah.
That's it. Because, I mean, listen, Taz is he's just one of the best. Because he's, at least just like Pat McAfee understands, well, it's not just about the wrestling in the ring. When there's not wrestling, we should probably be entertaining them, interacting with the wrestlers ourselves.
Yeah.
Whatever we got to do to make this entertaining.
Pat and Taz in a commentary booth would be...
Oh, forget about it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, forget about it.
End it there. No, but once again, we're AEW. Heat means nothing. Apparently our fans are so loyal and so dedicated, and we've done so much for them in only 4 years, you stupid delusional fucks, that you're going to stand here and say, we're going to have this match again at our pay-per-view in 6 weeks, and you're still going to care, even though at this point the Acclaimed look literally like they are a fucking waste of time, which is sad because they're so good.
They're excellent.
I know. In Heat, you know what, Zach? There's only one kind of Heat that we appreciate and love. You know that.
It is locally grown, locally made. Al Sands Haitian Heat.
And it probably could have helped Leroy last night.
Maybe.
Haitian Heat brought to you by local entrepreneur Al Sands, also local boxer. 6 kinds of hot sauces, 2 kinds of barbecue sauces. As we like to say, so even with the hot flavors, the hotness does not stay with you. It is the sweetness of the actual pepper that stays with you.
Because a lot of people don't realize that if you remove the seeds and the inner veins
Correct.
of a pepper, naturally peppers will have a sweetness to them.
Correct.
And also they tend to be somewhat subtle in flavor, that they don't take away from the actual flavor of what you're actually putting them with. Correct. Or putting them on. But Al Sands loves to bring you flavor, heat, everything you like. And again, sorry, Frank's Red Hot, we haven't received it in the mail yet. We put that shit on everything.
And also, the barbecue sauce is naturally made with natural ingredients, including the hickories.
It's also not as heavy as your typical barbecue sauce, which is what you expect out of barbecue sauce, but you're still getting a very wonderful flavor out of the whole
And
thing.
it's also one of those kind of barbecue sauces that when it sizzles, it actually kind of flavors through your meat.
And if Leroy had used it, he might have actually wanted to chew his food.
So go to Facebook.com/Haitian Heat and get your order today.
Love you, buddy.
Once again, that is Facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Remember, this is locally done. It is just him and a team of workers. So don't lose your patience on your order. It will definitely be shipped to you as soon as possible. Facebook.com/Haitian Heat. Always feel free to message Al Sands about your order. He's very open about that.
Yes, he is. Anyway, so that was the show. God, how this got over 1 million.
Well done, Leroy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I wasn't ready for that. That was pretty good.
How this show got over 1 million can only be that of the fact the Bucks were not on it. Anyway, which, by the way, you know, Jesse, it's really funny.
I'm gonna find out if there's a correlation.
Okay.
I had to look that. Yeah, definitely got.
That's for you to do. But anyway, Jesse, can I also point something out?
Yes, sir.
Despite the fact that we just had a segment earlier about talking about the fact that all these guys are still wrestling, possibly more, and getting paid so much, ever since AEW started, the Bucks have wrestled less and less, and I'm supposed to care about you? Sorry, boys.
I mean,
yeah,
I haven't cared about them ever.
That's fair. And
I know that's pretty harsh, but I just
and also Jesse cares so little. He is also, like I said, one of the only 700 people that watches AEW Dark.
Well, that's just because I have disgustingly deep obsession with pro wrestling.
But you want to know what Jesse isn't disgusted with? Dark Arts Entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, Dark Arts Entertainment presents live pro wrestling monthly at the Super Beast Trading
That
Compound
wasn't as smooth.
in Arts District, it still got you. That's all
close.
I care about.
It was close.
Sin City, Las Vegas, a hybrid of pro wrestling with an underground feel. Dark Arts shows also include live band, sideshow entertainment, food, beer, and more. And Jesse, what are they?
420 friendly.
We'd like to make sure you people know that. All right, come see top talent and matchups you won't find in any other promotion in Vegas. Jesse is reviewing those shows on the app.
Absolutely.
For more information or to get tickets to the shows, head over to darkartsvegas.com. That is capital D-A-R-K, capital A-R-T-S, capital V-E-G-A-S.com, or grab our official mobile app from the App Store for either iOS or Android today. It is actually a very smooth running app. It is actually a very easy app to navigate,
Yes, it is.
which is very hard to do.
Yes.
Even some game apps that have been around for 10 years since this whole thing
Are
started.
a bit of a struggle
Yeah,
sometimes.
no, it is, and it's
Definitely.
a very smooth app. They all have great people working on there.
Yes.
Hoping to get one of their trainers on the show here coming
Funny
up here to talk to
Bone.
them. Funny Bone is going to be live on the 12th. Funny Bone's
Correct.
not the guy we're trying to get, but hey, wouldn't hurt.
Wow.
But anyway, Jesse has also said he is going to do everything in his power to make it to Sin City for a couple of these shows.
It's January, so I'm looking as they're lining up. I will be making a couple of them.
All
so
right,
if
and-
you go to one this year, you might see me at
It's
one.
an absolute banger of a show every time. And like I said, they do have a library on the
Yes,
app.
they
You are
do.
able to catch past
Yes,
shows.
sir.
And again, come see Top Talent. You won't get anywhere else in Vegas because they are a very select group down there, but they have a large roster that is filled with amazing talent, and we love to watch
And
it.
I mean, talent you're talking about that comes from Southern Cal,
Yep.
the Washington area, sometimes from Texas.
A
and
lot
they
of,
get a lot of them through there.
and also they do use a lot of people that train at the compound.
Correct.
And by the way, the pictures of the compound, it's a beautiful facility.
I mean, they must pay a pretty good penny to make sure that they are putting on one of the best shows and one of the best training facilities in the world.
It's some of the best production you'll see in a small venue.
Oh, for sure.
Almost anywhere in the
for
world
sure.
right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yes, like we said, darkartsvegas.com or grab the official app. It is just Dark Arts Entertainment.
Correct.
All right, so
Man, that's really good history, right? But today in history, as we get ready to talk about the Royal Rumble,
it is that time of year, ladies and
38
gentlemen.
years ago.
The road to WrestleMania begins next
Nah,
Saturday.
I was gonna say, oh, technically now,
Yeah,
but
fair enough.
6 days.
It begins with us.
38 years ago in New York City, of course, where WWF was bred and born, baby. Hulk Hogan. Oh no! Oh no!
That gosh darn jabroni.
Oh, what a jabroni! He beat the great Iron Sheik to win the WWF Championship. You can actually still find this match on Peacock. It was
and
actually
Iron
good.
Sheik will never let us forget that happened.
And he shouldn't, because Hulk is a jabroni.
Yes.
And everyone should remember that Hulk is a jabroni.
It started the quote-unquote Hulkamania
Correct.
moment.
It was
That's where it
because
started,
that
kinda.
was I think that was starting to peak, and that was the height when he finally won the
Yes.
championship.
When you get that, when that flowed into the very first WrestleMania.
And then also today would have also been the 82nd
84.
birthday.
84.
Oh, 84th
I made
birthday.
an unfortunate error there.
No worries,
good.
because to be honest, I probably would have forgotten.
Yep.
84th birthday of Shohei Baba, also known to everyone as Zack, the legendary Giant Baba. For those who don't know, legendary.
Baba was more of what I would expect NWA to have been
Correct.
over in Japan, whereas Inoki was more of shoot.
Correct.
Baba was the entertainment side
Yes.
of Japanese wrestling
Correct.
in his day, and Baba was somebody that didn't run New Japan.
No, I believe Pro Wrestling Noah.
Pro Wrestling
Yeah.
Noah. That is his legacy. Which
Right.
damn, they hit hard in Noah.
Love watching those shows.
They also have their own streaming service. that
Yes,
you can
they do.
grab.
Yes, they do.
I believe it's around the same price.
Actually, a little bit cheaper. That one's only about $6 a
Okay,
month.
yeah, but yeah, folks. Giant Baba absolutely loved his shows. Like I said, Baba winning.
Also, one of the first Japanese wrestlers to integrate himself into the Western culture
Yes.
by not only the legendary, of course, kind of stuff with Muhammad Ali even before Antonio Inoki,
Yes.
but also with other fighter celebrities from back in the day.
right.
So
But again, when wrestling was starting to become more of a entertainment side.
Right.
Baba took advantage of that. Although today you'd never know that Noah was entertainment because damn does it hurt to watch a Noah show.
Japanese wrestlers literally as they're training they go, if you don't hit me hard, I'm going to knock you out with my next shot.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what they booked themselves as for like 20 minutes. And you're just like, I would never get in the ring with you guys.
No. Noah is currently home, I believe, to the Great Muta.
Yes, sir.
He is currently over there.
Yes, sir.
Still going. And again,
strong.
Again, Jericho, that's how you adapt your style in your 50s.
Right.
But anyway, but no,
Not being a fat boy trying to hit a lion salt.
Yeah, but no, Giant Baba, like we said, was more NWA, whereas Inoki was shoot.
Right.
I do nothing against Inoki, but Baba's legacy is very well intact over there in Japan, obviously Inoki was the more. And it's interesting you bring that up that he was one of the first to integrate into the Western style because Inoki's really the one we remember.
Right.
In the West.
Right.
But that's because New Japan obviously has the history that Noah does not.
Correct.
But again, Baba was someone that Gaijins would work with all the time. They would go over there. Very well respected.
Yes, sir.
By just everybody. And Jim will always speak very highly of
And
Baba.
I mean, unfortunately, there was, because of an unfortunate falling out years ago, which it's not, the family's made up, but unfortunately, Inoki and Baba were never able to make up. Before recently, Noah and New Japan used to actually work together quite a bit.
Yes.
Then there was a falling out between the two, and so if you went to one, you couldn't go back to the other. That's kind of how they used to view each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a WCW, WWF thing. They just
not that I think anyone is going to tell Muta what to do, but
well, you're not going to tell him shit.
No,
just like you're not going to tell Minoru Suzuki shit.
Yeah. No.
But here's the thing. Baba's biggest legacy is not just the integration to the West. It's a lot of the work he did with aspiring Chinese wrestlers.
Yes. But yes,
because we know the country that it kind of has issues now. But it was very strict back then.
Yes.
Especially about pro wrestling and its athletes.
Yeah.
And so a lot of his work with that allowed us to see a lot more of those kinds of wrestlers as well. Rest your soul. Much love to the family, Shohei's family. And I mean, listen, Noah is a beautiful promotion. If you ever get the chance, hell, if you can't pay the $6, they actually do put shows up like 3 days later.
Back when Impact was doing that thing where you'd go to watch Impact on Pop, and it would be 4 matches in 4 different promotions.
Yeah,
they did show a couple of Noah matches, which were just fantastic to watch.
Well, they had to do that because they were low on money. They're like, hey, somebody's got to watch us. But it was one of the better things that they ever did.
Yes, no, I agree. And anything else you got for the day in Royal Rumble history?
No, that's it.
That was it. No, that was it.
Because we got more stuff to talk about the Royal Rumble and history.
Royal Rumble is coming, but before we get to the Royal Rumble, Jesse, reports are WWE is not happy with the current state of 2.0. In my opinion, it's because no one is watching. And if you're not watching, after last week's show,
there's something wrong with you.
Folks, that was a banger of a show. D'Angelo is just so good. So good.
So here's what I'm going to say.
He's got friends. He's got,
besides the crowbar?
Here's what I'm going to say.
He's got this guy, that guy.
You know what I'm talking about.
Let me say this about that report. Hey, Bruce, I wonder why.
That's fair.
He's an attraction. I'm a fucking. As long as the internet's mad at me, we're doing something right. I'm a fucking idiot.
That's fair.
You told Sean you have until this date to get this kind of moved over. So when it shifted like that, of course people were going to tune out. Of course. Now, them tuning out, I agree with you. You tuning out now is just you not wanting to watch it.
Yeah.
But you should give it a chance because it is very, like I said, it's gotten a lot better as it's gotten going.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bruce, I fucking wonder why. And then they have the nerve to proudly announce this man. He's just our lead creative now. I would rather have Vince Russo. That's where I'm at with this clown. I would rather have Vince Russo. You want to know why? Because at least I know Vince Russo's trying to run a reality TV show that's horrible and not thinking he's booking good wrestling.
And, it's funny. I think this show has actually pushed Jesse in that direction.
What do you mean you're not happy? So apparently this report is that because it was kind of leaked, is that it was leaked from someone from Bruce's camp. Yeah. Now that he's creative. Yeah. I wonder fucking why you're not happy with it. Have you ever had a boss who came to you after you've been working hard, you always do what they say, you put your head and your nose down, you just go to your grind, and they come to you and they go, I'm not happy with your work, and you go, well, what's going on? And they go, well, yeah, you did everything I said, but I don't know, it's just weird. It's like I'm not really kind of happy with the results. The problem isn't me, it's you.
Yep.
It's you.
Yeah.
Vince, I beg you again. I tweeted them, and I should have used our thing to tweet them.
We'd be happy to.
Yes.
I tweeted them, which was funny because I got a lot of people who liked it and then laughed underneath. I tweeted at WWE. I don't give a fuck who you hire.
We need to remove Jesse's own Twitter handle.
Yeah, probably.
And just put ours in.
Probably.
Delete his and put ours in, yes.
But I said, dear at WWE, Vince, Stephanie, I even tagged her, do me a favor. Talk to your father. I don't care who you put in front of creative. Doesn't have to be your husband. But get this fucking imbecile away from creative. Because it's going to look like the early 90s if you let him continue. He does not understand how to book pro wrestling in 2022. Period. He couldn't do it last decade, by the way. Thank God for Triple H last decade. We wouldn't have gotten the Shield if it was Bruce Pritchard.
No.
People don't know. Bruce Pritchard actually didn't believe in Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns.
He didn't. Nope. He didn't. And now they're arguably two of your top stars.
They're two future Hall of Famers about to possibly sell out an arena.
Yep.
And make Peacock have one of the highest draws it's ever had. But this guy didn't believe in them.
But reasons why you should enjoy 2.0. Folks, we know that the main news out of 2.0 was the way that it ended.
If he was a child, I would send him to a military camp, Leroy. And I would say,
agree with that, yes.
You do whatever you
Break
please.
His ass.
You do whatever. He's crying good. That means you're doing something right. Zach, if he was your wedding specialist, I would go to your beautiful fiance and I would say, you can punch me in the face, Allison, but I'm not allowing you to talk to this man to plan your wedding. Because you guys will dress like clowns on your way to your ceremony. Because he's a fucking idiot. And I hate to continue to... Cal, I love you, one of the big fans of the show who we also had here. I do not think this man should be around pro wrestling anymore. His statements, the leaks... By the way, he's not the only one. John Laurinaitis needs to go too.
Yeah, we know.
It's one of those things because you guys are about to talk about what was a good show. Yeah. I give it 2 weeks, and we're gonna start seeing so much more cringe. We're gonna be sick, and that's a damn shame because Sean and that crew have been putting in a lot of work with these young people, and to waste these young people, and they're gonna start releasing them. They're not getting over anymore. This crowd isn't feeling them in Orlando anymore. Why aren't they attractions anymore? Because you're a fucking idiot. Dave from MAW would not allow this man to book for him. I promise you. Aaron from Eric, sorry, from well, not even DP, just DPW. Eric also from down there in Minneapolis. You wouldn't fucking allow this man
Eric
to book.
Cannon.
Yeah.
First Wrestling.
Nordstrom or Cannon would never allow them to fuck. He is an idiot.
Yeah.
So, please talk about the show before I go off on a tangent.
We all know
the biggest news that came out.
The biggest news that came out was, folks, I'm going to make something very clear. Walter never needed to say yes. Jesse and I talked about this.
Correct.
He had a school. He was very comfortable at his home in Vienna. Jesse, over in Europe, the man was making plenty of money.
The man's a legend.
He's a legend over there. Walter could have said no.
Right.
Now, yes, and oddly enough, you made me and a guy that I normally always disagree with in the PWL, James Romeo, we both agreed. If this was an era, and I do hate this about social media and the internet, if you weren't able to Google Gunther Stark, you wouldn't have known he was a Nazi captain. You would have had no idea.
And like I said, I thought the Stark thing was weird because they don't like doing same names. And like Vince
Zoe,
hates
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well,
Zoe,
there's Zoe Stark still, so I'm like, I just thought it odd.
And by the way, Jesse, in a year and a half, they could have Ricky Starks.
They might.
But the thing is, but the thing is that, look, name changes happen. What did Shane Helms say? My first night, I lost my name, my gimmick, my match,
My
WCW Cruiserweight Championship. He'll be fine. Finn Balor tweeted. They all hated Finn to begin with.
Right.
Guys, Gunther is a very common name both in Austria and Germany that's not out there. They already kind of come off as and again, I'm not saying this is a good thing. They kind of come off as what the Nazis were in that they are an almighty being, everything's sacred in a certain way. I'm not saying Imperium's Nazis. I'm just saying it's there. You're not supposed to like them.
About to say that they come off as purists, was what the Nazis were.
Yeah,
too,
exactly.
So.
And the thing is that here's the deal. In a couple of weeks, when you realize that he's still himself, you're not going to care that he changed his name to Gunther. And again, he could have said no, went back, and been just fine.
Right.
He wants to make this work,
right.
So he obviously agreed to it. Shut up. Give it some. To quote Alexa Bliss, give it a shot. It's 1 week. They made up for their mistake. They dropped the Stark. They get it. But here's the deal. Roddy Strong had one of the best matches Roddy's ever had. That was a banger of a match. It was so good. You wonder why Roddy doesn't care? Because guess what? Roddy would go over to AEW, and he'd be below Cole, below O'Reilly, below Fish. And no offense to Fish, but Roddy deserves to be above Fish at this point. Fish is...
And Riley.
Yes, exactly. Roddy is in the best place he's been. The Diamond Mine had a great night. We all knew that it was leading up to Roddy losing.
Right.
But Roddy held his own with Walter.
Yeah.
Roddy, that match was a banger from the get-go. Roddy proved to everyone that he can work anyone at any time. And Roddy, arguably, to begin, out-chopped Walter. Didn't last long. At the very beginning. This match was great. The show overall was great.
Yeah.
I could feel them.
Yeah,
oh my God.
I could feel the whole match. Tony D'Angelo was great with this whole burial of the Bruiserweight. He knows a couple of guys that are his friends, and he's got him and Carmelo Hayes are going to work great together.
Oh, yeah.
Our boy Grayson is a dick among dicks. It's amazing. I love it. He did everything right. The dude is pulling this off phenomenally, and he recently on Twitter had lunch with Indy Hartwell's real-life mother. I loved it.
And he has a henchman now.
He does. Legato is setting up for a feud with Mr. Rex.
Correct.
Braun Breaker.
Braun Breaker, yes.
Dude.
That'd be a great one.
What a great challenger for Braun.
It's a good first challenger.
He's a great worker. He's amazing. He's got the Stooges that help out. The Dusty Rhodes Classic is off to an absolute banger because, my God, did they have some great matches.
Oh, yeah.
God, I loved it. And fuck you, Joe Gacy. You were a creepy-ass motherfucker.
He's so good.
But it was so...
Go ahead, Leroy.
I was my one surprise out of the Dusty Road Classic.
Yes.
Legado Dan Fazza. I thought they were going to win.
Oh, I knew they were going to lose. As soon as they interacted with Braun Breaker, I'm like, they're out.
I thought they were going to win. And then I saw that.
Oh, by the way,
and then I go, they're going to lose.
giving two young black men some shine by having them beat Legado.
Right.
So, AEW. Big Swole was right. Anyway.
She's been right since she left.
Yep.
And she didn't even it was messed up.
By the way, AEW's not even put Jade on television since the win. Jade's putting herself over.
Right.
Jade's getting herself over. But my point is this. The Dusty Rhodes Classic is once again what is all great about tag team wrestling. MSK is going to do probably good in their first round. Jacket Time looks as good as ever. You can't tell me they're not having a good time.
They're clearly having fun.
And your girl in the pajamas Oh, did she have a line that was so good? Oh, my God.
Formerly known as Karen Q.
Brooks and Jensen were in the back, and I don't know. It was either Brooks or I don't know which one it was.
I
Brooks
will
or
admit
Jensen.
this was half cringy to me, but she saved it.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It was awful, but she saved it by just sipping on the cut. It was so good. But anyway, back to what's going on with Joe Gacy. Jesse, you're right. You agree with everything he says, but are you a bad person for doing it?
It makes you uncomfortable.
It makes you uncomfortable.
It makes you really uncomfortable.
Because he wasn't mad.
Yeah.
He wasn't mad at Harlan. He wasn't mad. We should all be taught tolerance, and we should all be respectful of people. And I'm like, you son of a bitch, I don't want to watch. But I have to.
By the way, Joe Gacy was really good in Evolve as well. But it's because it's uncomfortable. So, like I said, the first time I saw this, I went, oh, no. 6-year-old dudes who shouldn't be booking pro wrestling have a quote-unquote SJW character that you're supposed to boo. Oh, here we go. But what this turned into was so good. You know, Harlan, I would have loved to won the match last week. But what is important is that you got the chance to get out your aggression. Are you feeling better, Harlan?
Yep.
And then
that's damn word for word what it was, and it was in that tone of voice.
And then the big what's the big guy's name?
Odyssey Jones.
So he comes out from the injury. He's like, "What are you? You guys lost last week."
I'll be good in a couple of weeks, and now he'll probably be out longer because Harlan
is gonna smash him.
Yep.
Here's the thing. So he comes out, and you know, as he's kind of talking down Gacy, Gacy goes, "You know what? And I respect your opinion.
Yep.
And I think it's great that you can share your opinion." And then as he walks away, he looks at Harlan and goes, "You know, see, this is the great thing about being here. You know, you can just say how you feel."
I'm remembering
and
it
I
word
think
for
next
word,
week
and
you
I
should
remember
say
how I felt. Oh.
Joe Gacy is uncomfortable in all the best ways.
And I see, and they had a moment with your new favorite gentleman where somebody can have a teaching lesson.
Oh,
the kid they put him with, the fact
That's really good.
The fact that he introduces himself and says "Chase you" like he's some NFL player from Sunday Night Football. That's the best shit in the damn world. What's his name, Leroy? Look it up. Andre Chase's partner.
Yeah, because I did not catch the kid's name.
Yeah, no, but it's like when he went so and so Chase University, just straight up. I'm like, oh God, Jesse.
Have
you ever
Andre
been
Chase.
so happy to be wrong?
I am.
Have you ever been so happy to be just
He
wrong?
is so great. Listen, at my school, and everyone's always just like, "What fucking school are you talking about? This is a wrestling ring." And he just always, every time he gets interrupted.
And even though he wasn't live this time, they still have people in the sweatshirts. It's so good.
And this is why this is a teachable moment, and then gets his ass whooped.
Yeah.
Dude, Andre Chase has been a revelation of a character.
And by the way, Boa and Sola, they're gonna beat the living hell out of each other.
They actually already started, and I was shocked at how physical it was.
But I mean, now they have a Falls Count Anywhere match, and I'm like, I'm gonna enjoy this in so many ways.
This is why in pro wrestling, by the way, you don't have to be a purist. You can have no DQ matches, and it's fine.
But here's the deal. They built to it because they got physical.
Right.
In AEW, we just don't want to book a DQ, so we're just going to say
we do lights out.
Yeah. Which, by the way, WWE made special, especially with Shawn and Jericho.
Well, it was, I think the first one was Foley and Rock.
Yep.
Or Mankind and Rock.
Yeah.
That was all. So I think the whole story was that, Vince and Shane said, well, we want these two. Rock, you need to either beat the crap out of them and get the crap kicked out of you, but this needs to be over between you and Mankind. And so they did a quote-unquote lights out match where, of course, famously...
Harlem Bravado.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm the partner.
I'm glad you could find I was having issues.
But just when he went Harlem Bravado, Chase you, I'm like, you motherfuckers went there, and I'm for it.
Which means more of those students could become a part of a faction now.
But Jesse, no. Sola and Boa are gonna beat the living hell out of each other.
It's gonna be good.
And they found a way to make Boa still work.
Yeah.
And it's been good. Boa's showing me something.
Here's the problem.
Duke Hudson came back and threw a bunch of dudes. By the way, for Duke Hudson to come back and beat up a guy who just had a knee injury and who talked about his dead dad, what a moment to make a heel. And then once again, Cameron Grimes just being Cameron Grimes.
He's
and
great.
Just every moment of it. But no. The Brooks and Jensen thing, yes, I agree, was that awkward teenage thing. But she saved that. Your boy or your girl did.
If it was, because I don't remember what her name is in NXT 2.0 now. Now that she's not the dark character. But yeah, if it wasn't for her, to me, that was the first instance of, shit, here's the Pritchard influence.
Wendy Chu.
Thank you. Because they were talking about the concert or whatever they went to, because they've been telling the story on TikTok.
Yep.
Yeah, I rolled my eyes if you didn't hear it in the mic.
Oh, by the way,
I don't do anything.
There was a
with
Xia
TikTok.
Li sighting, by the way. We should probably mention that.
Where?
On SmackDown.
You missed that?
Really?
She came out and confronted Natty again.
And they did. Did you notice the lightning and the way she moved? They did. Oh my God, they did so nice again.
That production is so on point. It's just incredible.
I trust me. I was watching. And I'm like, ooh, where's the lightning? Where's that?
But
yes,
oh
my
God.
I'm
sorry if you're not watching.
I'm sorry.
If you're not watching,
watch. It's on Hulu.
All right.
If you're not watching NXT 2.0, that's on you, and that's just you having hate for something,
right.
Because they are trying down there. And by the way, regardless of if you think they're pretty much trying to quote unquote bury the winged era, they've got stars and they're good.
Listen, they got a lot of really special, good young talent.
And by the way, to
mold.
think that this is Braun Breaker's not even 12th official match he's ever had. The kid is a goddamn revelation.
He's
in
really
wrestling.
good.
We
He's
got
really good.
5 or 6 people that they can pull up to the main roster and keep that gimmick, and they'll be awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. All right, the time has come. Jesse and I must swallow our pride and make a pick that could decide our fates.
So let's go ahead and go through the Royal Rumble card.
We have a Royal Rumble card, but also
I
I would like to announce Jesse and I decided this. It is a handshake deal. Leroy is lucky enough to not be a part of it. You son of a bitch.
You son of a bitch.
But yes, Jesse and I will be making our picks for the Rumble. It will not be it will not be the individual wrestler. It will be the number.
Yes.
And whoever is the closest without going over wins the bet.
I'm smarter than you look, so that's why. You're welcome.
So is Jesse's unkept afro, but sorry, Jesse, I love you, but
Yeah, I need to do something with this thing.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But no,
I'll go through the card.
We will. By the way, but before we go on, we will be picking both Rumbles, and if each one of us wins one, we're gonna make the decision between the world title matches because Jesse's got somebody losing a world title.
So do I, but not the same as yours.
However, if one person wins both Rumbles, the World Championship bet is out.
Correct.
So,
all right.
I'm nervous because I've already watched in its entirety Road to the Top, which has officially been renewed for a second season, which will probably, like I said, book it in the first 3 episodes. We're gonna have an entire episode on Cody's skin back. But we'll get there.
You mean his wife fucking up a whole spot?
No, they fucked it up before they got out there because, again, that shit's not meant to be sweated off.
Well, he even said that shouldn't have happened.
You think?
Oh,
he's been saying that a lot recently.
Oh, I'm sure he has buyer's remorse because he probably still feels that pain.
Yeah.
Well, we'll run down the card here.
Yes, please do.
We'll talk first. We'll do the mixed tag team with Edge, Beth, and the Miz and Maurice. I hope Beth gets a hold of Miz and slaps him a couple times.
Here's the deal. Something that I did not give a shit about. They're kind of making it work. I'm not saying that I'm super excited for it, but damn, it's getting there's a weird curiosity there. Yeah. Because Maurice, who for the longest time has just seemed like she did not want this, with the brick.
I know.
That was probably
the best thing that they did so far.
But And now there's a birthday celebration. I mean,
which clearly Edge is gonna.
Oh, you know it is. But I'm telling you again, something that in my opinion I did not want to see.
I hear you.
I have a weird curiosity to watch now.
Right.
I'm not saying it's what I'm looking forward to, but
Right.
all right, let's go.
Right.
We just gotta wait for their outfits, what they'll be wearing on Monday.
Should be good.
It'll probably
we'll see what.
It'll
what
probably be the biggest fashion in a country that nobody cares about. Anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Well, they won't do white again because if they repeat that again,
Edge will just drop the blood.
Well, if you just drop the well, it's not even.
Are we about to get a
black
Beth
goo.
Phoenix Brood entrance?
Oh,
Don't tease me.
I'm getting excited already.
Don't tease me.
Damn.
So, but well, like I said, we'll see what happens on Raw about that. But
All
go
right.
ahead.
Who do you think is going to win on that one?
I've actually Edge in feuds that involve snarky people usually comes out on top. This is not a feud that I think Edge is in to put the person over, because Miz doesn't need to get put over at this point.
No, you don't.
No.
So I
got Edge and Beth.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, me too.
Same.
It'll be
I've
fun.
got Edge and Beth.
All right, now we got 3 championship matches. They have not announced a pre-match. I haven't seen one yet.
Not yet, no.
But we have Becky Lynch going against, and not to be mean, one of her biggest challenges in Doudrop.
Oh, it's definitely one of her. But here's the deal. You and Cal talked about the wrestling ability of Piper and how great she was over in NXT UK. So, no, this is actually one of her biggest challenges.
I have watched a lot of Piper matches, and I'm a fan.
Piper's great.
Piper's incredible.
Piper's fantastic.
But it will be Becky Lynch.
Yes.
I'm hoping for.
I know. So am I. But I'm like, it's not going to happen.
Here's the deal. I don't care.
I'm gonna pick her to
if you're
lose.
Vince.
Dang it.
I don't care if you're Vince. I don't care if you're Jim. I don't care if you're Jim Hurd. I don't care if you're Tony Khan, who supposedly gives you a wrestling show. Bullshit. Becky Lynch is the star that goes over.
Right,
Sorry, it's just the way that goes.
I know. I'm hoping for Doudrop.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, then we have, I said, the 2 matches that are going to be awesome. Brock and Bobby Lashley.
This is the championship changer.
You think so?
You thought I was going to say Roman Seth.
Nah.
It's this one. It's this one.
Right now, the WWE title is something that can go into WrestleMania as the undercard world title.
Yep.
But Universal can't do it. But yeah, definitely, if they're gonna do a title change, I'll take Brock for the sake of the bet. You can take Bobby.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I get it.
I was about to say, did you just ninjutsu me?
Because we both have Roman.
Yeah, we both.
So that one's kind of a wash.
That one's kind of a wash now. I think about it. So yeah, this will be the tiebreaker for us. If it's needed.
If needed.
Because here's the thing.
I did mark it down.
Here's the thing. The better story for the Roman Brock feud, especially because they're going to try to do this going to Mania.
You're going to throw Brock in the Rumble?
Is you throw Brock in the Rumble.
Okay. I've got.
He would lose, and then he'd show up later
case,
for the Rumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
In that case, give me Brock winning. You know what? Instead of doing that typical the number one that like always wins number, I'll take Brock at like 26.
You think he's going to go that long?
I think to build the suspense, they'll wait on Brock.
Yeah, well, plus he would have already wrestled a match.
Yeah. So basically, okay. Now remember, it's the closest without going over.
Right.
So if it's 26 or if it's 26 or below, it has to be above your number.
Gotcha.
So which I think is how that works. So yeah, Jesse, where do you have Brock coming in? If I've got Brock at 26,
I don't even have Brock winning the Rumble.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Ooh.
Just going in there and destroying
Just
people?
going in there destroying people because I think the better story would be Brock has to find his way back to Roman now.
Okay, that's fair.
So you actually don't even have. I have Brock getting into
because
the Rumble.
technically you already have a SmackDown female winning the Women's Rumble. Okay.
Correct. So
I'm at 26.
Hopefully, is that correct when you do your
So I'm
pick?
at 26.
The number I actually have winning.
Okay.
In my head.
And this is for the Men's Rumble.
Yes. It's an odd number.
Okay.
I think it'll be 15
26.
this year. For me, I think it'll be number 15.
Okay, so basically how the bet works is that if anyone under 15 wins, Because again, 15 will be over. You want to just say closest?
You know what? Let's do this. If it's gotta be under, I'll pick 20.
So you got 20.
I got 20.
Okay. So if anyone, so basically okay. So we'll just say this: I'm at 26. You're at 20.
Yeah.
If anyone wins between 20 and 26, then the winner is whoever was the closest to.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Correct.
So you got 20. I got 26.
Correct.
So there's a little wiggle room there.
Right.
But basically, and if we're even, then it'll be whoever we choose to win the Rumble, and then we'll see if maybe that's the tiebreaker.
Correct. Our beautiful furry mascot just joined me.
Yes.
I know, Ruby. She needs some love. Here with your picks for the men's. Here's a fun fact.
Okay.
Neither one of your picks on your numbers has ever won. Close. 27 has won 4 times.
Yep.
And 19 has won twice.
Yes.
Drew was 16, I believe, wasn't he?
Yes, because remember Brock had already run through a couple of people.
He ran through half.
Yeah.
Close to half.
Yeah, it was close to half. Me, who I have winning the Rumble, Jesse, do you want to go first?
So, I'm picking 20.
Yep.
I think the story to make even not just the WWE Championship more interesting, but also the Universal Championship more interesting, teasing us fans of a possible triple threat, is going to be Big E.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
I think they want Big E eventually to get that win back.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you took the obvious there. Can I see the list of who's already? Because in my opinion,
you got it right in front of you.
Oh yeah. Because in my opinion, I think who they've already announced will be one of the winners.
Oh yes, most likely yes.
I'm gonna go Johnny Knoxville. I'm just fucking kidding.
I was going to say, well, you've got no shot. You will be watching season 2.
Yep. You know what? Screw it. I'll take KO.
Okay.
Because I think KO has had a strong build.
Yeah.
I don't think he's looked bad by any means, and I think he's got some momentum.
The reason I didn't take KO, you know what? Why would I? This is me giving you a second chance. So the reason I didn't take KO is because I think they actually do want to do Priest and KO at Mania.
Okay.
So that's the reason I didn't take KO.
Priest or Styles, because I mean Styles, it's the one thing he hasn't done. Styles would put on a banger match with anybody.
If it were between Priest and Styles, I would say Styles.
Yeah.
I'm either going. I didn't think about the KO thing with Priest.
Yeah.
I was going to say Damian Priest for the Rumble.
Yeah.
But AJ or Priest? That's what I think. I'm pushing more AJ to win the Rumble.
Yeah. Okay.
He's never done it.
So I've got Owens. You've got Big E.
I got AJ winning next year in his last year in WWE.
No. AJ resigned.
Well, what I'm saying is I think technically next year will be his last full-time year in WWE.
In ring? Okay, yeah, all right.
Fair
enough.
I think you're going to see AJ get all the accolades.
Yeah, no, that's
and I believe Austin Theory will get a big shine in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So
he'll be a workhorse in the Rumble.
I have Big E winning.
So. Yeah.
I think Austin's going to get 7 eliminations.
Minimum?
Minimum.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's going to piss the Rumble fans off, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be very old school Roman Reigns.
Women's,
no, not this.
the women's Royal Rumble. Jesse, do you want to pick your number first this time?
The number I will pick for this one
okay.
is 14.
Okay.
It's going to be Bianca Belair.
I think repeat?
I think it's going to be Bianca Belair.
I've got Bianca, but I'm going to say Bianca comes in the mid-20s, so I'm going to go 21.
21.
Because I think Bianca's going to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I think they're swerving. Oh, shit. Wait a minute. No.
Are you changing?
You know what? I'm going to make this interesting for both of us. I'm not going to pick Bianca.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Ooh.
That story with her and Charlotte ain't over.
That's true.
I think it's going to be Alexa Bliss.
Okay.
Ooh, that's good.
Okay. You got Bliss. I got Bianca. Are you still Bliss at 14?
Bliss at 14.
Bliss at 14. I'll take Bianca
because she can
at
do some
21.
creepy shit, hide, and then come back and win.
That's fair. That's fair. Leroy for the women's rumble.
So
By the way, Bliss
you got
hasn't even been
Bliss,
announced. To be fair.
Yes.
and then you got Bianca.
By the way, we need to address something here. While I think the word was probably not the best to use, she was probably told to do it. Can we not dismiss the work that Summer Rae did to help build this division?
So a lot of people were upset because they used the word legend.
Yeah.
It was like the same time when they used to call Alicia Fox a legend. I will say this about Summer Rae. Is she a Hall of Famer?
No.
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 Is she a legend? It depends on your definition.
Right.
I think she is an important piece
Yes.
to what we have now.
Yes.
Because without her,
She wrestled a lot in the early days of NXT.
and really, if not for remember, she was originally a Divas call up,
Right.
and then they sent her down.
Yeah.
And she was one of the first ones to really be on the we need to work like the men. Because I watched Trish and Lita and all of them do that with
I think all four horsewomen have a victory over Summer Rae.
yes.
Yeah.
She was integral in the development of them. Alexa Bliss, Tamina doesn't count.
I agree.
Naomi, Carmella, like she's very instrumental in their development. So legend, it just depends on your definition.
Yeah.
And maybe it's thrown around too loosely.
Because, to be fair,
Hall of Famer, absolutely not.
But because, Jesse, to be fair, I don't think Fit Finlay is a WWE legend.
Then again, I didn't think Tori would be inducted, and here we are.
True. But
That's true.
But I think we all learned from the Ruthless Aggression thing. Tori was actually pushing for more in-ring time.
But let me be clear.
Yeah.
The women during that time, and they all deserve credit,
Yeah.
that deserved to be in the Hall of Fame to me, was your leaders. Your Trish,
Yeah.
Beth,
Molly Holly.
Molly. I would get to 5 more women before I would even consider her. So when Tori got in, I was like, okay. This is
Tori got in for more of her entertainment side of things.
This is if Tony Romo actually ever gets into the football.
Tony Romo will get in because he's the cowboy guy.
Because
he holds all those cowboy records.
Because otherwise, I don't see it.
Which is fair.
It just means
because the truth is, nothing against Tony. You were undrafted. I get it, bro. But you're gonna get in because you have cowboy records,
right?
Not because you won anything.
Right.
Not because you were a Hall of Fame quarterback. You're gonna get everything because you hold passing records as the cowboy quarterback.
Right.
You were the guy who kind of brought the Cowboys back to
prevalence.
Okay, they have a shot.
Right.
Which, by the way, folks, we are in a very quiet room because sadly, Leroy, your poor kids are currently in isolation. Which again, they're doing fine. They report that. Also, it is very quiet in Packerland, and I'm here to be petty about it.
I thought you were very
I'm here to be petty about that.
I watched that and I was like, you're gonna lose.
They can come sit on the couch next to Viking fans now.
Yeah, and Lions fans. And Bears fans.
They're not allowed.
They're not allowed.
Hell no.
They're not allowed on that purple couch.
Even if they bring me beer and cheese, they're not allowed.
You get all that from Quick Trip.
Well, yeah. I'm throwing a one out here for my pick for the ladies.
Okay, yeah.
I might piss people off. Charlotte.
It makes an interesting story.
To be fair, Jesse, has
would
there
be a
ever been
very
a champion
interesting
who
story.
won the G1? Even back before it was the G1.
No.
And they had never done that in Royal Rumble history.
Well, Rick won it. Rick won the title.
To win the title.
Yeah.
But not as the champion.
But again, Jesse's on the bandwagon of why don't we just do this every year?
Yeah.
Because like Leroy pointed out earlier in the show, according to the graphic, the champions tend to retain, even though Jesse's got the upset.
Right.
But that's because of Brock Roman not
during the individual matches at Royal Rumble. Yes,
because of the whole COVID thing with Roman that they never finished Brock Roman. But I think that because of that they want that back. But my point is this: is that Jesse's on the bandwagon of just do it every year.
Yeah, I having the champion creates a very interesting thing of, well, shit, if the champion wins, it can pick their own challenger.
Especially if you quote-unquote have a situation this year where Charlotte is quote-unquote booked very strong.
Right.
And that's the thing. You have two champions on both in both divisions.
Yep.
Put in my opinion the strongestly booked champion of the year.
Right.
Put him in the Rumble. The other one can defend the title. That's fine.
And who can she put over? I mean, she wants to do that.
Well,
who can she put over on SmackDown?
Probably like a Naomi.
That would make sense. Because here's the deal. Naomi is a very interesting cautionary tale of it could either be going nowhere or it could be a stud finish.
I agree.
Because she has been more featured, arguably, than anyone on SmackDown.
Because I also believe outside of Bianca, probably this year, it's very high chance she wins again.
Yeah.
That they're not going to do another 2-time women's Royal Rumble winner for a while.
Yeah. And the thing about Naomi is that Naomi has really shown, in my opinion, there's more to her character than the athleticism.
You know, I gotta be honest.
And no offense to Naomi.
Sasha's injury has opened up a lot of doors for Naomi.
It has. But Jesse, again, I mean, let's be honest here. No offense to Naomi, but I think for a while we just said she's one of the most athletic women in the division. But she has come out character-wise working with Sonya.
Yeah.
See, though, I will say this: since her first SmackDown Women's Championship run, I have been in love with her work.
Okay.
Because I thought even back then, I'm like, man, she's the whole. She gets it. She's the whole package.
Yeah.
Because the babyface turn was a good thing.
I also like that they're keeping her away from the Bloodline storyline because I look at this and I say to myself, this woman is. She is a natural babyface.
Right. They don't need to. I mean, if they did it, fine.
I think she's in a family that could teach her.
It's just not necessary.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And plus, it makes it funner when, or more fun when then Roman will maybe like acknowledge to Jimmy the success of his wife if they lose the tag team titles.
There we go.
Can I also point out that is the most interesting match because of the history between Roman and Seth. Seth dropped a Mox line, by the way. I don't know if people caught that.
Oh yeah.
But here's the other. And by the way, no, that's not a AEW Forbidden Door thing. That's just Seth realizing that if
it's not. Well, listen, it's not a Forbidden Door thing. They probably were like, dude, go out there. Who cares?
Yeah.
And then
it's nice that he acknowledged them.
Yeah.
And they should, like, they've been smart in the video packages of not just deleting Moxley out of there.
Yeah, no.
He's a huge part of the history.
Yep.
But I will say this. I hope Cody Rhodes shows up. I hope Randy Orton ends up in the Rumble. Yeah. Go ahead, be delusional of that guy. So he can laugh at you, RKO you, throw you out, and WWE fans like, thank you.
He's gonna RKO you back into the cosmic wall.
There we go.
He's going to RKO you back into prevalence.
Well, you know, if Austin Theory's in there and he gets 7 eliminations, he would be in pretty good numbers for 7. Hogan, Yokozuna, Diesel, Stone Cold, Rikishi, Undertaker, Great Khali, CM Punk.
And congratulations.
John Cena, Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman, and One Man Gang and Ultimate, and One Man Gang, all 7 eliminations.
And by the way, a big ups to the man who will be in his second place all-time Royal Rumble appearances. Congratulations to Kofi on being in his 14th Royal Rumble.
Well, they got to have him do a spot where he doesn't get eliminated, moves on his hands, and blah, blah, blah.
He might be one of the greatest Royal Rumble performers of all time, win or not.
My kids absolutely love watching him do that.
And by the way,
he didn't touch. No, he didn't.
And by the way, folks, Kofi loves everything he's doing.
He's doing good work.
And he doesn't even have to win.
Yep. So anyway, okay, Jesse, before we go, I do have to ask you this. Who is an outside person that would shock the world to win either Rumble?
Ooh.
In the men's?
And not for funny haha, but like legitimate, like, oh shit.
In all honesty, I think in the men's, this is going to sound weird to people. It would be Dolph Ziggler.
Okay.
Oh.
Because he'll be, I got a good feel he'll be in the Rumble.
Later.
Yeah.
Probably show up at 28.
Okay.
If he fucking won,
the roof would come off that place.
Let's be honest. Well, it would be silence at first because, like, what?
Yeah.
Like 8 years after we were all behind this guy, and now he's what? And then in the women's, I mean, it's Carmella. That's easy.
Yeah.
I can actually see any of the women actually winning. I really can.
Can you imagine?
But not Carmella.
No. Can you imagine? And I know it's not going to happen, but it would fit so perfectly. Because again, I don't.
Dana Brooke to me has a better chance of winning.
Yeah.
No. Can you imagine? Because it would fit the gimmick, and no, she's not being forced to do this. She is loving this. If Queen Zelina wins this thing, man, we gonna hear about this for a long time. Every single show leading up to WrestleMania, she will speak, and we will get so annoyed that by the end of it, we will want her husband to come back in black mask or obscurity,
or just kidnap her away.
But as I said, this Royal Rumble, as I found out for you guys, this will be the latest Royal Rumble that is on a Saturday. The last Royal Rumble was done on 1994. So I was a year out of high school.
Wait.
94 was the last time they did it on Saturday.
Last year's in Arizona?
No, that was on a Sunday.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this is the first time they've put on a Saturday since 1994.
Yep.
Sorry, that was 2 years ago. Last year the Rumble was, of course, in Orlando.
Yeah.
It hasn't been on a. It hasn't been on a Sunday.
Before we go, there is one pay-per-view on the road to WrestleMania. It will take place in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It will be the Elimination Chamber. They are for the first time ever. Vince doesn't have to pay for the transportation of the chamber. So there you go.
Yeah, that was an odd story.
They're going to build it over there.
They're going to build it there.
Oh well,
that
logically that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah, that and let's be honest, Vince doesn't like to transport that thing too many places because it is heavy.
Apparently, it takes 4 trucks to fucking transport the old one.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
I will hold on to our picks.
All right.
And I will laugh hysterically.
The loser truly has lost.
I may become an alcoholic if I lose.
I'm surprised.
I understand.
When you start to see me lose my hair and I look tired all the time,
it'll be because of the Rhodes family.
It's because of the Rhodes family.
Jesse, it'll be because of one of your own.
Oh my God! Yes.
My heart just broke on the inside.
All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, look forward to Jesse on Thursdays. We'll be dropping more and more reviews.
And then also go ahead and go to our Twitter. I will be putting up a poll. Let me know what time you prefer.
Yeah.
And if a certain time gets enough votes, then that's the time we'll go for. But yeah,
and we will actually make sure that Jesse uses our Twitter.
I will be using our Twitter
because you can put both of them on your phone and flip back and forth. Because I can do the same thing.
Once again, folks, Leroy doing okay. You've had a rough week, sir. We would like to thank you for allowing us to still do the show. You've had a long week. We
love you, man.
We do love you. We're glad you're okay, and we're glad that your kids are going to be okay.
I know.
It's a scary time.
It's going to be another week before I see him.
Yeah.
At least I can talk to him.
Right. Yeah. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, once again, find us on YouTube, Spotify, Podomatic. We had a hell of a week on Podomatic.
We did.
You put that up on Monday. I checked on Thursday. It was already at 98. So we appreciate you lovely people.
Thank you.
We have a couple hit and rushes.
Yeah. Oh, hey, there we go.
Yeah.
We stopped mentioning Kharkov. That's why. But anyway.
That helps.
But Don't forget. Thank you all so much.
I Heart Radio, too. Don't forget that.
And hey, maybe next week, because it'll be post-Rumble, we'll have more wrestling stuff to talk about and not just backstage stuff. With Spot Monkey, probably not. Anyway, once again, thank you all so much, and we will see you guys soon, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye-bye.